Uh-oh. We woke up Grandpa again. Somebody better get him some candy. Welcome to my home. Watch your step. I wouldn't want you to break a bone, but if you do, you can borrow one of mine. Welcome to my stylish haunted home. I can't take all the credit for its trendy appeal. The maniacal banshee in the closet deserves some praise.
Well, hello everybody. How are we all doing tonight? That's Dana's gift, Bert.
Hey, he's an awesome thing out there.
That's the name she decided to give him. So I screwed up with tonight's guest. I told him 7:30, so he's not quite ready to come on yet. So that is my bad. You guys know I'm an idiot, so I mean things like that are going to happen. So let's go ahead and thank everybody for being in here. We've got Shaku. Oh, Bill's on. Hang on, let's bring Bill in real quick. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Hey, brother. What's going on?
I'm sorry I messed you up on that time.
Hey, hi, Dana. How are you?
Hello. He does that often with the
I'm
time
an
thing.
Well, yeah, I thought you said 7:30.
I did, but then I thought I said 7 when I set the show up, and I just went back and looked at the messages. And I was like, "Oh shoot, I told him 7:30." So
yeah, I was getting all prepped and everything, and we kind of had a late dinner and stuff. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got time," and I was just getting ready. And then I got the message, and I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And then my GoPro, I really, I can't stand using this GoPro for this. It heats up and everything. And then I put my battery in, and it said it wasn't charged. And then I have 2 batteries, thank goodness. So yeah,
lovely.
So yeah, so I'm sorry too, but
Oh, you don't have to apologize. That was on me. So let's say hi to Shaku Joshin. Jethro's in the house. Anita Drake, how are you? Laura said she's gonna jump in and out when she can. Mike Owen, hello. Julie J.A.D. Hello. Alyssa, how are you? We have. Am I missing anybody?
No, keep going.
No. Sorry.
Can you guys and can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm not using headphones, I'm using speakers. All right, cool.
Perfect. Yep. Julie R, how are you? Sue Mackey. How's it going? Simply Spooky's with us. Faith is here. Hello, Faith.
Cool.
Hello.
Thanks everybody for being here.
Hello, Giselle. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Anita. I think I said Anita, but who cares?
Giselle, yes, he has a name. His name's Bert.
Yep. She finally named it Bert.
Oh, the skeleton.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still like Indiana Bones, but
I do too, but we were told that was a porn, so.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, somebody said that that's a porn movie, so.
Oh, then you know what? Good. I like Bert.
Yeah.
He kind of got the name Bert though too, because also we have a child that has to sometimes come and stay at the house, and if we want her to come stay at the house sometimes when the dogs visit her siblings that are 4-legged, we kind of better have because it's kind of there to greet you. We like, okay, we better take into consideration a little bit of a name that she liked.
It's friendly too. It's like, oh, that's Bert.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so eventually, because somebody said, they said, Ernie was a good name. I said, well, I'm going to be looking after, I'm looking after Halloween for a dog. And so he'll have a dog named Ernie.
Yeah. Does anybody know any good deals on another 10 by 20 storage unit? Because all this crap she's
another Jeff?
Yeah, another one. Yeah, we're getting to that point. So
no, we're not.
Paranormal Pursuits, how are you? Jillian, thanks for joining. Rob Linklater, how are you? I'm trying to get to the bottom. I'm not going to do that 37-minute thing again.
No, because as soon as he gets to the bottom, then I take over.
Lane, how are you?
Good deal.
We're almost there. Wisdom's in the house. How's it going, Wisdom? Okay.
Your hair looks good today.
Oh, thank you. It's last time you're going to see it this length. So.
What do you mean? You're cutting it?
Oh yeah, it's getting chopped.
Usually it's summer
Nope.
Chop it, and then
I always chop mine in the winter, like in the fall, winter time. So it's ironically funny. I just scheduled the appointment today to go get it chopped off on Friday. So,
oh wow,
What are you doing?
like
that's
Jeff,
gonna be
all the way like as short as Jeff's.
oh no.
Mine's actually really long
I
right now.
usually
me.
do an inverted bob, so it still looks long in the front, but it's usually really short in the back. And
Oh, gotcha.
so I can still, because with my job, I still need to be able to pull my hair up out of my way. So I usually keep it longer in front so I can pull it back if I need to. So
And you're an EMT, right?
no, I used to be an EMT, and right now I will be going back to. It's only like a 6 or 8 week refresher for me to do my CMA for my job, because where I'm at right now, I actually moved from. I actually drive 40 minutes to work now. But it was a need for our company or for our practice, so I was willing to do it. I love working out there. So there's a haunted house, but not even a mile from where I work.
Yeah, it's the Beale Manor is in
Oh, cool. Oh, awesome.
Yep.
So, and there's some creepy things around the hospital and that. So it's kind of nice going out there, and it's a nice peaceful drive through the country.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome.
Well, Bill, why don't you introduce yourself and tell people who you are in case there's people in here that aren't familiar with you?
Yeah, probably there isn't too many people familiar with me because like the show that I do, obviously Carburetors and Coffee, like I wrench on stuff, whether it be snowmobiles, motorcycles, mostly cars right now, but whatever happenstance. Really, I started the channel because I was always in my garage wrenching on something. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to start a channel. And I decided to start, the channel. But I do have an interest in sort of the, not necessarily paranormal, but I've had paranormal experiences and cemeteries. I like cemeteries. To me, I sort of have a theory about cemeteries. They represent history. Cemeteries to me don't represent death. They represent life. It's kind of a weird theory that I have, but that's probably why nobody's ever heard of me. They might see me in the chat lurking around, but it might be like, who's this Carburetors and Coffee guy? He doesn't have a spooky name. What is he doing in here? Right. So I'm in here lurking around, and so I have an interest, especially Jeff, when you're on. I enjoy when you and Dana are doing, especially when you did the 12-hour thing. I'm a friend of Laura's. She kind of got me into the raw side. She kind of got me into like more like active with you guys, like doing this chat thing. I never really was into like, I didn't know there was like people
I never did either.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do. I'm as far as like why I'm on today, I guess we could touch a little bit base on that. It's just because when I do my show, I always do it with the presence of mind that my kids are going to be watching. So I always do it where I don't swear.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah. So like I'm always like making sure. In fact, my kids are in it sometimes. Like I might need to like drag a car out of the weeds, and I have like my daughters steer the car. When my son was younger, I would have had him steer the car. That I just started the channel not too long ago, but like I do things where like, so I do it where like it's kid friendly. So if somebody wants to pop in with their child, and if it's on in their living room, they're not going to hear like foul language and sexual innuendos and things like that. I always want to make sure that it's going to be for everybody, all ages. And there's some comedy in there as well. It's not just tutorials. And there's usually heavy metal and death metal music.
If I were to do that, there would be no way that stream would not have swearing in it. It would be me and auto mechanics. Like I'm pretty sure the Bible says you're allowed to swear when you're working on cars or doing plumbing. I'm
Jeff,
pretty sure it's in there somewhere.
Let me tell you something. So my wife is not watching. Usually when I was on with Laura, she's watching. But like I'm going to be upfront with everybody watching right now. When I say that I'm a Christian, I need the Lord in my life because I'm such a terrible person. Let me make that perfectly clear. Okay. Yeah. I am such a terrible person that I need someone in my life to answer to when nobody's around. to go, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Now, I used DaVinci Resolve 19. They just came out with a new one.
Okay.
Now, Jeff, there's this thing called edit.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I might say that when everything is rendered and uploaded into YouTube, it's nice and friendly and kid friendly, I say. Okay. Yeah. But the raw format is not.
So is that on the members only side, or
there is no members only side, because my wife would, it matters a lot what my wife thinks of me.
Yeah.
Because I love my wife so much that if she saw any of the other things, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of like mother, father, sister, daughter in there. Mm-hmm. And like, I wish that I could do, I'm thinking about doing a B-roll, like blooper reel with like the beep stuff in it, where like, where it's like, oh, that's funny. Yeah. But if I'm going to portray myself as like this, like, oh, you're a Christian and you're doing that. Mm-hmm. I want to do it.
Yep.
But my wife wouldn't be happy with me if I did it. She'd go, honey, people from our church is watching.
Yeah.
So I can't go ahead and like upload something where I'm like, watch this one. This one's hilarious. Watch when I hit my knuckle and I'm going, mother, and the beeping starts and I'm going, or my camera battery quits on one camera and I've lost 6 minutes of footage. I don't know. Yeah. I love this camera, right? This is a Canon. I know people are like, what's this guy on for? Are we going to talk about cameras? We'll get to it, everybody. Trust me. Yeah. But this is a Canon M50. I love it. But if it's got the 3 bars for the battery, right? Mm-hmm. If one fades, it's like, okay, I got 2 left. No, not on this camera. It means, dude, it means like, no, you have 30 seconds left of battery.
Oh, wow.
So if I've been recording like, say 15 minutes of footage, I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I got plenty of battery left. And I'm like, changing a head gasket. All of a sudden this dies. I've lost 20 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
It'll say DAT file on my computer and it'll say it can't play that file.
Can you hook those up to a battery pack?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no thing on this one.
Oh, shoot.
So next year that's in the plan to get a new one. And I'll run like 4 cameras.
Yeah.
And then I get confused when I'm like, what is this one? When I'm like, got into my edit.
Yeah.
So anyways, hi, that's me, Carburetors and Coffee. I'm Bill.
Yep. Now I'm going to tell people why we brought you on tonight. So
sure, go ahead.
Dana and I we interviewed a new client the other day, and just since we didn't get a chance to talk beforehand, I'm sure you know this, but we're not revealing names or any of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, Jeff, I'm sorry to interrupt you, and go ahead and do like, I figured all that. That's probably why you wanted to talk to me.
Yep.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yep. I mean, we're going to name a couple people, but they're not the clients. So
sure.
So we did an interview and it went really bad. Like interviews don't ever go that way. I mean, it started off, it was the same old claims, thinking that there's a demon in their house, but yet the stories really don't match up with, what they're thinking it is. And
funny enough, I wasn't even going to be a part of this.
Yeah.
That's how this, go ahead.
So then all of it, an hour and 20 minutes into this interview, this lady totally flips. Like she flips a switch and she starts mocking us, laughing, saying things like, Dana, you hurt your mom. She kept saying, Dana, Dana, Dana. She, was making comments like, oh, you're going to know who I am tonight. And just, all this crazy stuff. And I'm still reflecting on that. And I sent the video out to several people to watch, people that I respect and I wanted their opinion. And you were one of them.
Thank you.
Because I know that you're a Christian man and I wanted, somebody from that perspective to watch it. I sent it to Mike O, who is, I believe, an atheist. I sent it to a lot of people with a lot of different beliefs to get all their feedback.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're having you on to talk about that from a Christian perspective. And we're really going to talk about, I don't even want to call him Bishop, but James Long. He's basically the priest for the ghost hunters. He's been on Ghost Adventures and he was on that show, the League of Exorcists, I think it was called. So, everybody knows him as basically a TV exorcist. and he's with the Old Catholic Church. Which, did you do any research on any of that stuff by chance? Or
So
of course he did. He's got papers.
So the only thing that I watched that video 3 times.
Yeah.
And like on the third one, I did a lot of pausing, stopping, and back and forth of body language.
Yeah.
Simply because. So to answer your question, let me answer your question. I had very little time to research those guys because I wanted to focus strictly on this video. And so let me apologize that I didn't get a chance to, because I figured, you know what, Jeff went ahead and researched those guys. I want to focus strictly on this video because I have 4 hypotheses on that I wanted to run past you.
Yeah.
And then what I did, Jeff and Dana, is I brought my wife in. Now I want to tell everybody, you guys and the chat, about myself. I've been now. Also, I want to just say that I'm not in here to like preach to anybody. This is just my opinion. Let's get that out in the open. That, oh, this guy's here to like preach about. I'm not here to preach. This is just Jeff just brought me on just to like get a perspective. That's all.
Yep.
I could have been sitting here as an atheist, a satanic worshiper. It doesn't matter what I am. He's just bringing me on to say, hey, Bill, what do you think? That's all this is. So this is all just my perspective. So my wife grew up out of the womb as a born-again Christian. Like, she was raised as a born-again Christian.
Yep, I was too.
Okay, you were? Wow, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I wasn't. I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic schools. And again, I'm not trying to insult anybody. So please, anybody in the chat, I'm not trying to insult anybody. This is just Bill's perspective, okay?
I think everybody in here is cool. I mean,
okay.
we all respect everybody's beliefs. I know that for a fact, so.
You know, I always feel like you got to preface that. It's always like when you say, hey man, don't tell anybody, but blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they're not going to say anything, but you always have to say that first.
Yep.
So anyways, yeah. And I know everybody, I know like Mike Old Minerals. I know everybody. I don't know him, but he knows of me. Like, I know everybody's cool in here. So anyways, I've said what I had to say, but, I grew up Catholic, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth, like with nuns and fathers and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Rob. So, my wife, I had to bring her in to watch it. I watched it twice, and I went, you know what? That cynical side of me, Rob, or Jeff, that side that is like they're faking it.
Yeah, I definitely.
They're putting Jeff on, and they're making a mockery of what Jeff does.
And I'm
saying this is what I thought. So I said, you know what? I went to my wife and I said, honey, I want to tell you what's going on. Jeff was kind enough to like bring me to watch this. He wanted me to watch this, and I want your opinion on this. I said, I need to take a step back and get that cynical, judgmental character that I always have, where like whenever I watch something to debunk, I have to get that out of my head and look at this at a new perspective, at a different perspective. So honey, could you please watch this with me? So she she got home from work, she was tired. We sat there till like 10:30 at night, and I said, are you okay? She's like, oh, I'm tired. And I told her it's about a minute and 23 it happens.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, I'm just waiting for it to happen. I go, look, it's a good payoff. I was like, just stay here with me. She was sitting here. I said, listen, I'm like, I was like, I'm not going to fast forward to it. Yep. I'm not going to go ahead. And I said, you have to watch the whole thing, because I told her, I said, you have to watch everybody.
Yeah.
I said, watch her up here, watch her. Oh, and I also want to tell you, Jeff, you're very kind in the way you handle things.
I really, really tried to be, dude. If I'm being honest, you have no idea how scared I was when that flipped. Well, but I stood my ground because I knew, like, you can't, if it is what we think it possibly could be, you can't back. You have to stand your ground with it,
Well, you know what? So we're not like keeping everybody on the edge of their seats here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right to what the 4 things that I wrote down while my wife was watching, because I said, honey, I want you to watch it, and I want at the end, you tell me what you think. I'm going to
Right.
write down the things that I think.
Yep.
Here's what I think. And this is what, when we shut it off, I knew what my wife was going to say because of the way my wife was raised. I didn't really know, to be honest with you, but I valued her opinion. And I'm going to be honest with you, you guys. I never really go to my wife for this kind of thing because I always kind of know what the answer is going to be because she was raised that way.
Right.
But I really felt like, you know what? I think that's what it is. And I got to like not think that it's a hoax.
Right.
I think there really is something to this. Now, that was the first one. I was like, they're putting him on. They're messing with him.
Yep.
And the reason why I thought that was because there was a couple things where I was watching body language, and that was, should we like alter names? The blonde one.
Yeah, we can call. Let's
Blondie?
come up with
We'll just say Blondie.
Blondie.
Yeah, Blondie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Blondie. And brunette. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay, Blondie was like when brunette started going.
Yep.
Which starts at I have it written down.
She kind of did it a little bit throughout.
But we'll tell you something about that
It's
once you go through your stuff.
I know because my wife and I discussed it afterwards, and I have theories on that. You guys, hopefully you guys in the chat aren't like, what are they talking about? But we have to lead up to this. It really is important. It really is important that we discuss this.
Yeah, let's just say I'll just give people what we're talking about. So at certain points in this normal interview, and it was all normal, she would just like look away from the camera, go like
13:28 it started. At 13:28 she went
yep, and grabbed her chest and talking about her chest hurt.
It was like acid reflux.
Yeah. Yep.
But Jeff, she didn't say anything about it.
Right.
It was very it wasn't if she was an actress, she was very good.
Yeah.
Should we tell them now?
Hang on a minute.
Go ahead.
No, I'll get to it. I promise, Dana. I know this is like you're probably like, come on, Bill. But
no, she's gonna tell. Well, go ahead and say it.
So what she does, that thing,
she goes, she winces her face.
but you can ask Jeff when I have something that's trying to get me to not talk, that exact same thing happens to me. Exact same thing.
Okay.
So
yeah, we're in investigations, and Dana has abilities. A lot of people don't believe in them at all, but when something doesn't want her to talk, she gets that way.
It gets that way. And it's like, I can't, and it's like not controllable. Like I can't, if I try to put like a cough drop or a throat lozenge, nothing will make that stop.
Well, that's amazing.
Yes, Korea this was a residential case. So unfortunately you guys will never see this video, but
yes. And that was the other thing. This isn't like this was
right.
Like that was the other thing I had to back away from that this was a hoax, because these people knew that this wasn't a thing that was going to be on YouTube. This wasn't anything live.
Right.
It was a private interview. So that's not like, I was like, okay, if this was a hoax, it was only for their fun and making fun of Jeff privately, Jeff and Dana. So like, why would, and again, Dana, you hadn't planned on sitting in on this.
No.
You were just like, hey, you came in and you're like, hey, do you mind if I sit in on it? I heard you.
And the only reason I did that is because I was in the back part of the house and I wasn't even planning on being part of this. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I need to come and sit in on this. Yeah. And that's why I came in.
So, and with the buildup that I was told, I didn't want her involved because I don't like getting her in on cases that people say this really could be demonic, because one, I never jumped to that. But so the blonde girl is the one who asked me to be involved because she's at her wit's end with the stuff that she's seen and all that other stuff, and with stuff that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. So okay, that was one.
Okay.
So there was four. Okay.
Yep.
So now the second one was they're both nuts, that they feed off of each other and they're both nutty. Like, you know how like you get like two homeless people with shopping carts and they're just like nuts, you know, and they talk to you, they're just like, oh, they're both, you know, psychos or whatever.
Yep.
Only they both like have their own places to live, whatever.
Yep.
That's what I thought. And at that time I was like, I got to calm my wife down. Then when I was watching it and my wife was watching, I was like thinking, I wonder if she has schizophrenia.
Yep.
Then I was thinking, okay, maybe this burping thing is from medication. Maybe she's like, this is like a stomach thing, blah, blah, blah. Then, okay, dude, and then we could start really talking about the meat and potatoes of this, of what happened. Because after I talked to my wife and we shut the thing down and I turned to her and I said, what do you think?
Yeah.
She goes, she has a demon in her. And I think it's possession. I think it's possession. Like that's what I think. Now I don't think, dude, you know, remember the video that you did and like all how like I'm super skeptical on everything. Everything I look at, man, I like pick apart everything. I watch a movie, I don't watch the actor. I wait and watch for the boom mic to come down.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching cars in the background. Like I watched that show Chips from the 70s.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not watching the actors. I'm watching to see like what 70s Camaro is in the background going, oh, you see that 67 Camaro back there? Like I'm always like looking for that stuff. I'm looking for anything to debunk, to like look at, watching like an extra in the background who shouldn't be looking at the camera. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This thing, I really, and there's the second part B. I think that Blondie has a possession too. Dude, did you see what happened when she was going up talking about her father, saying she wants revenge?
Hold on.
Yeah.
They feed off of each other, and she is bad for Brunette.
Yeah, I think she needs a break from this too. Plus, she lost her mom, I think, a year ago, and you know, she just she's not ready to come back into this stuff yet. I mean, that's my opinion.
Julie, me too. Sorry.
I mean, this whole case went to the blonde girl, but it came from, I'm just going to call him Bishop James Long because that's what everybody knows him as.
Sure. Yeah.
But that being said, this man is not a bishop of anything other than the church that he made up. He started this church. There is no church building. It is a TikTok ministry and a Facebook ministry. That's it. There's no church building. But this guy is running around training exorcists and then sending investigators out to cases, and the blonde one being one of them. He's got teams throughout the country to determine if there is something demonic in it, if they have to send an exorcist from his group of exorcists out. So that being said, a lot of his exorcists are absolute nothing what they're doing. They have no training, they're not even real priests, you know, and some of them weren't even Catholic 2 years ago. And all of a sudden they're an exorcist for the, you know, and a priest. Like it makes no sense.
Did you get that picture I sent you
No.
a few days ago?
When did you?
Of that supposed medallion that guy gave her from Italy?
Yep. Yeah.
Did you see where it came from?
Probably China.
Probably Temu, but no.
No, Etsy.
Okay, Etsy. Yep.
It's a dashboard placard that he got from Etsy for $6.99. There's comes in a pack of 4.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see
That's
this.
it. That's the one I sent you. Yep.
But he said, so the exorcist, and here again, I'm only using these terms, but I'm no way believing these people are anything what they say they are. The exorcist claimed that was a blessed item from the Vatican.
Yep.
And that he left it for her to, you know, help cleanse her house. This guy, this is my opinion, is that he knows absolutely nothing about demons or exorcism other than, you know, he's trying to be like the Pope's exorcist or Russell Crowe or something, you know. But I think he realized that, okay, there's something going on here that I've never dealt with before. And from what it sounds like, it scared him. So he stopped doing what he was doing halfway through. And left and hasn't been back since.
Brian, sorry to sorry to go off track to answer your question.
Go ahead.
I think you mean that. Actually, I did that. I made that an AI thing. I made that on Google. It's a Porsche 911. I made Porsche is like my favorite car. So like, I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Hey, Alyssa, I mean, what we're talking about is a very real case. Yes. And like I said, I never, ever, ever say something could be demonic. I don't do it.
Right. I know
but
that
this
about
one,
you guys. Yeah.
and I'm still debating in my head because, like I said, I sent this video out to several people, and I value their opinions.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Yep, it is." Some people say, "No, it isn't." So I'm really weighing in everybody's.
And to me, and it's weird because, like I said, I was not going to sit in this, and as soon as I did, I mean, there was like multiple times throughout the thing that I was like, because I even took note. I was writing down stuff that, because it was just like, this is, because at first I was like, same thing. I'm like, okay, this is, we're just, and then, but as we went along, but then what gets me is when we got to that certain point, but I started noticing when she started doing that stuff is when it got to me. I'm like, okay.
It kept getting worse too.
Well, yeah, and I was like, well, I know what happens when something negative is trying to get me to stop talking. That's kind of what it is. And I'm not saying it's always demonic, but sometimes when there's something negative presence, it doesn't want me to talk. So that's kind of how it goes. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, maybe she's got some abilities and that's just what's going on. But when it gets to the point that I literally freak out, leave the interview, I go outside. I was outside for probably, what you said, 20 minutes?
No, not even that long.
Yeah,
you were in the backyard well,
even in the front. I thought I was in the front yard because I went outside to ground myself immediately. I think I wasn't outside very long. I came back in to run and grab my rosary and my holy water because I went back outside so I could start grounding myself, praying, and getting myself all in check. So then I sat in the front yard, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I have to lay down. So I'm like, good thing the police did not come by because they would have stopped and been like, what the heck? There's a body in the front yard. Yeah. Because I mean, I was just flat out in the front yard, but it seemed like I was out there for a long time. And then Jeff came and checked on me, and I'm like, he asked me if I'm, no, I didn't even know. Yeah. And then I went to the backyard to sit in my hammock, and I thought I was outside in the front for at least an hour. And he's like, no, it's only been a few minutes. I'm like, okay. But then in the backyard, I thought I was out there for like 3-4 hours. But I immediately, after that happened, I closed myself completely down. I have not opened myself back up yet, just because it's a precaution thing at this point, because it was targeting me. And I mean, for 3 or 4 days afterwards, I was like, it's still coming at me. Seriously still coming at me.
That actually gets into the yummy donuts question. Is this the first time that we've come across something like this? I've been involved in 2 other cases. They weren't my cases, but I've seen some interviews where I think, okay, that very well could be it too. But this was the first one that I've conducted the interview, and the person directed their bullshit towards us. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I did not. I stayed up super late that night because at one point in the video, she looks at me and she says, "Oh, you're gonna find out. Yeah, you're gonna find out tonight. Something's gonna happen." And I just that scared me.
Just to make it clear to everybody, I'm thinking about this, hoping that everybody might be kind of like, what are they talking about still? So what had happened was, for an hour, that's the other thing where I was like, if they were gonna put you guys on, they would have done it way sooner than an hour and 23 minutes in.
Right.
It took the interview went on for an hour and 23 minutes before what had happened was the woman immediately switched off. Her personality switched from one. It was a 180. The spectrum. And did you notice? Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up. Sorry, guys, I'm switching gears, but she mentioned that things don't happen around there till it's dark.
Yes.
And did you notice? Okay, did you see her eyes when that happened? Her
Yeah.
eyes.
Yep. When she
They
said,
turned almost black.
Yep.
and she said, "It's not light anymore."
Yeah.
It's
She came
dark
out. She came out of the
That-
garage where it happened,
Yeah.
and she started walking out, and her eyes almost like transitioned back to where she
Yeah.
had the colors back in her eye, like her. I think she has brown eyes.
Yeah.
But like the black went away.
Yep.
Mhm.
And and even her skin tone came back.
Mhm.
The like she looked more human. I know
Yeah.
this like seems like these guys are making this up.
It does. And I wish we could have shown the video first,
But
but we can't. You know.
But dude, when I had my wife watch, I didn't say a word to her. I didn't say, hey,
Yeah.
hey, and watch her eyes, watch her skin color, watch the night. I didn't say nothing to her. And I got to be honest with you, my wife can be not very observant when it comes to this stuff.
Right.
My wife picked up on every single thing that I was like, I wonder if she's going to notice that. She like noticed every single friggin' thing.
Yeah.
And like, dude, the hair on my arm is like standing up right now because like, when that switch happened at 1:23 in,
Mm-hmm.
I started like getting like,
it's an hour and 23 minutes in.
yeah.
Yep. An hour and 23. You said 1:23.
Oh, sorry. Hour 23. Yeah. Yeah. The minute and 23 it started, and you can tell it was a hoax. No. An hour and 23. I started feeling like really uncomfortable, especially with my wife watching, because she doesn't like that sort of thing.
Yep.
She's like, remember when you were talking, you said to her, do you like listen to praise and worship music and stuff like that? That's my wife. Like, she doesn't really like the music I listen to, like death metal and stuff and like that. Right. She knows I listen to it, but like I grew up like that. Like, I'm always going to listen to that. I told her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you could just tell. And then when she started getting better and coming out of it, her eyes started to come back. Mm-hmm. Her skin tone started to come back. It was so, it was very, it was not of this world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And the funny thing was too, is that for an hour and 20 minutes, we were actually almost over the call.
I know.
I was trying to wrap it up.
Wrapping it up. You were wrapping it up.
And then here's the funny thing too, that I don't know if I told you this, maybe I did. Dawson has always wanted to be involved in a residential case.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to put you on, but I'll put you in the green room so you can watch and be there and listen and whatever, but no one will know you're there but me.
Was he in that?
It scared the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in that one?
Yeah.
Yes, but he was in the green room. No one could see him but me.
Oh, wow.
So, and he was like, dude, I don't want any part of this residential stuff. Like he's still curious about it, but he's like, man, that's definitely not the route that I want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's like real.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to go in and like go and like, hey, is there anybody in here? And then like go home and listen and like that's one thing. Or like have something fall over and go, oh, dude, and run.
Yep.
But dude, that is like real, because this is a living flesh person.
Yes.
That like now you have a responsibility almost. Like, what are you going to do with this information that you have now?
And that's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's why I get so damn mad when these dudes come in with these freaking collars on.
Yeah.
And pretend that they're doing an exorcism because they don't know what they're doing. And then they make everything worse because they've told her that she has a possession or a demon in her house. You know what I mean? So that in her mind, that's what this is. You know what I mean? It's like, it just, I get so freaking mad.
Now, Steph, that's a great question. So in answering Steph's question, I don't know, but
I can actually add to that.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
So this was one interview. A lot of times you really have to interview these people several times to figure out what's going on. Now, supposedly, and this is why I like to make sure everything is done by me. I don't want to take what people are telling me has happened to this lady. Supposedly she has had a psychological evaluation, but then I found out it was something online. That doesn't count. No. In my opinion, that doesn't count. You need to go and I'm trying to get her to go to her local church. I'm trying to get her to go to her local church.
You were wrapping it up too with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the church will demand that of her, that she sees one of their psychiatrists and gets some kind of psychological
But it's even
evaluation.
funny because when she was debating between the two churches to go to, I even said, I keep seeing the first church she talked about. I saw the like sunbeams and rays of light coming down on it.
She was saying it was in the middle of a cornfield, and she
Yep.
was going, "Yes, me too, Dana, me too." Dana, I have a quick question for you, and you remember what she said to you about am I allowed to say what she said to you?
Yeah.
About your mother's sick.
You hurt your mom is what she said.
But she also said,
yeah, she did
your
say
mother's
that too.
sick.
Yep.
Was there any truth to what she said at all?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
I was
the hurting, and then, but it's ironically funny because when you listen more into it, and like afterwards I heard some, because because
you left.
Yeah, but this is fun. But the first time I listened to it after that, because Jeff didn't want me to listen to it at all.
Right.
I just listened to it on Friday for the first time, but I didn't watch it again. I just listened because I won't watch it again.
Yeah,
because there's a connection there for it, and I can't do that. So, but I listened to it, and I just was like floored because, Blondie, everything she was saying about me hurting my mom and me, my mom being sick, that's not true at all.
Well, I mean, the Blondie didn't say that.
Blondie said that her mom.
Oh yeah, her mom was.
Yeah, Blondie was saying her mom and all that stuff. So it was like, and stuff that she related to, because we were talking to her afterwards. A lot of stuff she was talking about, it's like that stuff was relating to Blondie and not me. But it was just, but at that point, they were just trying, it was just trying to get to me whatever way it could. And it knew that my soft spot would be my mom.
Yeah.
And so that's why because I think it was like after she said, you hurt your mom, I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, I need to go.
And that being said too, like when she said that, like, you do not know how relieved I was when somebody had talked to her mom the next day. You know what I mean? I was scared something was going to happen to somebody that night. I really was.
It was like a 10-second pause of silence too.
Yeah.
When I first watched the video, I thought there was something wrong with her feed or something.
Yeah.
At first I was like, what are they like? Because you had said an attack. And then I thought, like, when you told me about the video, I thought they were going to start saying, like, you don't know what the blank you're talking about and blah, blah. I thought it was an attack like that. I had no clue what sort of attack you were talking about.
Hang on, I gotta stop real quick. I forgot to say thanks, Faith, for the 5 gifted that you gave earlier. I did see that, but we were talking about something, so I just wanted to be sure that I got that in there.
Oh, awesome.
Faith is freaking, like, there's so many people that are in here now that are in everything we do. Like, it's awesome to see the same names all the time. Yeah, we love seeing new people too, but it's just, man, you guys are the best for real.
I just want to thank my wife for giving me some coffee right now.
Yep. Well, you have to. I mean, it's in your title. You're pretty much.
I know, right?
Drink coffee.
Yeah, that's what I have to say too. In my videos, I work on stuff while drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Brian had a comment. Go down just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
See, one thing. So I'm not Catholic. So I do the holy water almost as a symbolic of what I'm projecting through prayer.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe you don't have to have holy water to protect. Yeah, but sometimes the people that, if you're at their house and you're doing a house blessing, it's a visual to them to see that you're sprinkling holy water on their doors and windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's visual. I don't think the holy water really does anything. It's your intentions. It's just a symbolism. It's in the sage doesn't do anything, but
it's the intent. With
people like to watch you run around their house burning the sage. I mean, it's a visual representation, I guess, of your intent.
I mean, but then, like, for me, ironically weird, I came in running into the house because I've seen, this is the third time I've seen somebody change like that as well. As soon as but I needed that extra protection for myself. So I came running in, getting my rosary and getting holy water to, I mean, I myself really,
Bill,
really
I'll send you the other example of what I saw one time that this switch went like that. And this will infuriate you because it was a case that I was involved in the Warren Foundation.
Okay.
And we asked if we could have a priest on there. Now, when I say priest, I'm doing air quotes because he's another self-proclaimed archbishop. And the client said, absolutely not. I won't do it if there's a priest in there. So somebody decided, well, what if he just sits in plain clothes and watches and doesn't say anything about, him being a priest, So this is maybe 20 minutes into this video. He starts talking to her in Latin, asking, what is your name, demon, in Latin? And she dude, she switched immediately. This video, this will freak you out too. But then he turns his camera off, pulls off his jacket, and he's in full blown priest gear and comes back on and he's starting to do this online exorcism. I was so fucking mad. I was furious. Dude, she is sitting by herself in a parking lot with a running car. I mean, if this really is what we think it could have been, she could just back up into traffic, or you know what? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't do this shit online. You can't do it. So, God, but I'll send you that video too, because that'll infuriate you.
Let me see. Oh, I got notes, Jeff.
Yeah, I saw your notebook.
Yeah. Okay, couple things. I wanted to have you followed up with her?
Yes. Yep.
You have. Okay, good. She mentioned a few things that I wanted to ask you about. I'm glad you followed up because I want to ask these to you. The chalky handprints. She mentioned many. She mentioned many pictures she was going to send you. Have you gotten any?
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. So the handprint thing, I can't say what it is by the picture. But everything else that was sent to me was, you'll hear a couple taps on the wall or in the wall or something like that.
She says slaps. She's like, oh, that sounds like a belt of leather slaps.
Then maybe her mic didn't pick it up as good as what she heard. But then her dog will freak out, which if a dog hears noises like that, it's going to go to the wall and freak out.
Especially a little dog.
Right.
I have a little dog.
Yep. None of what was presented to me was okay, that's probably nothing paranormal. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't seen anything yet. And then she sent another video the other day where she's walking around her house with a K2 meter and her phone is 6 inches away from it. Yeah. And the things lighten up. It's that's another thing. These people need to stop watching freaking YouTube and TV and going out and buying this crap. Dude, and thinking that it's detecting a spirit.
Don't those K2 meters come with a manual that says don't have it near that stuff?
I don't know if it does or not, but I can tell you right now, if I hold my phone next, because I replicated her video and sent it to her and said, this is why you can't use this stuff. So many things make those go off and I asked her if she went to the church, because I even sent her the mass times.
She didn't do it.
She said, nope, I don't want to. And I thought, okay, so is she being difficult? Is something else making her say that? So I didn't want to engage because, like I said, I'm not there. I don't want to send somebody into an episode.
Well, you growing up the way that you did. So if we're going to believe if growing up the way you did, as a born again, and me being born again for about 18 years now. Mm-hmm. If it is a possession, then we know it's the enemy that's doing that to her.
Right.
And the enemy's saying, you don't need that church.
Yep.
You don't need Jeff's help.
Yep.
You don't need any of this.
I have another working theory though, too.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not demonic. Let's say, because she, all throughout the video too, you'd notice she talked about her abilities. She believes it. So I'm thinking, okay, what if she's some kind of trans medium?
Okay. Yep.
And something jumped into her when that switch happened.
Okay.
Something not demonic, but something that wants to present itself as demonic to scare people or something. Because if she would have said something like, who is that watching that's not on screen, or something that there's no way she could have known. She didn't say anything that was like, okay, there's no way you would have known that. You know what I mean? Because she said generic phrases like Dana's mom, something's going to happen. There was nothing she said that told me that she has this inhuman wisdom or, knowledge of the ages as it says in the Bible.
Yeah, that's true. And here's another thing that when she was getting angry over the Hail Mary, the Hail Mary is not a prayer that is of the Lord anyway. So like Mary's dead. Mary was Jesus Christ's mother, and she's not with us anymore. She's in heaven with Jesus. So now when she was saying the Our Father, that's another thing that could make an entity maybe upset. But really there's no other word than Jesus Christ that really can anger a spirit. That makes them run in fear. So when she was getting angry over the Hail Mary, I was like, that's why, like, I did have to, when I brought my wife in, that was like helped me to sort of think it was a possession. She was talking about, did you get any pictures of her dog with the eyes and everything? She's like, she had like a ton of photos, and I could send you the photo. She kept saying, and I could send you the photo, and I could send you the photo. She said it like 6 times about photos she had of all this stuff. Yeah,
she didn't send near as much as she said.
Okay.
But it was bad lighting in a photograph. You know what I mean?
I know what I wanted. Dana.
Yes.
She says, Blondie at 37:14, she says, Becky did vitals and an EKG.
Yeah, she you said the name on accident, but that's all right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, there's plenty of people with that name, but yeah, she is a nurse.
Okay, all right.
And she brought stuff to do. Basically, her job was to be there. No, it's cool.
I have her name written down and I read it.
But her job for this whole thing was this Bishop Long's exorcist was supposed to do an exorcism. And then Becky would. Now I fucking.
Sorry, you guys. I'm
sorry. It's all good. And then, she who shall not be named was supposed to be there to do like check vital signs and things like that.
But I randomly weird though.
Yeah.
This is what kind of throws me. She has an EKG machine.
Yeah, like
could have borrowed one from work. I mean,
no, they won't let you take that home. No.
Can't you get that on an app now?
I don't. That's what I'm thinking. She had to have had. It couldn't have been an actual, because I can't see. They're expensive, so I mean, it's like I can't see someone.
Did she say EKG though? Because I know she said oxygen.
I wrote it down, dude.
Okay.
I made sure.
Okay. She said, because I even put down EKG. I think I put EKG. I'm like, how? Or I asked you afterwards, how did she do that? Because those, you don't normally just carry and walk around with an EKG machine.
And here again,
an EMT, so I wanted to ask you that.
And here again, too, I just want everybody to know that I'm looking for the big fake. I'm looking for these people are trying to dupe me, and I'm still in that mode when I question. So I don't want people thinking that I'm just, you got a little freaked out, so you're calling it a demon. No, I'm still looking for, is this schizophrenia? Is this a split personality thing? Is this, or is this just a total fake out?
Yeah, that's
what I mean.
I want to go back to something I wrote down here. Did you notice at 29:45, Blondie, she goes dark? Did you notice her phone turned off?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
She was sending Jeff a message.
Yeah, she sent me a message. So
okay, cool.
Yeah,
thank you. That explains everything. Oh, and then what at 44:20, they said it could be the female L. What did that mean?
female L.
Yeah, she said it could be the female L.
It could be. I acted like I knew what she was talking about, but I'm assuming it's one of, a demonic name. A demonic name, maybe.
Oh, yeah. They said like the female Lucifer or something.
Yeah.
And then I looked that up on the internet. There is no such thing as a female Lucifer.
Right. I know a lot of, these exorcists believe that they're dealing with Jezebel. There's the spirit of Jezebel, which they think is a demon, which it wasn't. It was just a character in the Bible.
Doesn't exist. Yeah. Right. Anyway. Okay, cool. All right. So then I even wrote down at 47:40, she burps again. I mean, that's how much I love. Yep. I just love writing down stamps and watching body language.
Yep.
Picking videos. Amy says she has something of pics and videos.
Yep. I did not get near what I was promised.
Yeah. All right.
And like I said, what I did get, I was like, okay, this is nothing. Like, if you go to the church with that, they're gonna laugh at you because a dog is barking at the wall where there's a little bit of clicking going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We pretty much covered. I mean, that was everything. And then, I know what I wanted to ask you. Here's what I love, Jeff. This is what I would love for you guys to do. Even Dana to sit in on it. I would love for you to interview the son.
That's what I want to do. That's that's one of my next goals. First, I want to get her to the church. She's making excuses. She said she's called them and they won't return her calls. I meant to do it today, but didn't get a chance to, but I'm going to call that church and see, one, if they answer their phone, or I might leave a message, see if they call me back, or I might see if they'll tell me if she called. Yeah. Because I'm not convinced that she called. I'm just not.
Yeah, and I actually even wrote down, did she go to a church for the blessing, and you even followed up with that. So
I absolutely want to talk to that kid when she's not around, and he's an adult, just so everybody knows. I'm not going to be talking to some 7-year-old about this crap.
So just
he's I think 20. I think she said so.
Right.
He's an adult, and I found out some things last night about that too that are kind of weird. Like, he wanted to be there the night that priest, air quote priest, was doing his exorcism. He insisted on it, even though they didn't want him there. But he stayed up in his room the entire time, hearing all this commotion, all this crap that was going on. Never once came out of his room because he said he wanted to stay there to protect his mom. So if you're hearing a bunch of commotion and stuff going on, wouldn't you think he'd come out of your room? Right. Like, is this kid upstairs playing around with some shit? His girlfriend in here, don't be offended anybody, but some people say they're white Wiccans and are into some of the darker stuff, and his girlfriend is supposedly a white Wiccan. So, there again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not saying that they're bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that in my experience, sometimes people claim that, but then that's not necessarily what they're doing.
So I want to respond to this, because she said probably because she was not a parishioner, they're not sure. If you're going to a Catholic church and they should be responding to anyone. Yeah,
but I agree. And a lot of times they don't.
And they don't. But that's the thing, because we had mentioned that they should be reaching out to you. Yep. But if they're, and we gave her specifics, if they won't reach out to you because you're not a parishioner, that's fine. We will make sure that we can help you find a church that will help you, or we will make sure we get in contact with someone that will make sure that they're aware of when you call.
Because a lot of people too on my channel have probably seen the interview that I did with the real exorcist, Vincent Lambert. He's the exorcist for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. So I actually emailed him about this, and that was he said, step one, she has to try going to her local church. And
she was new to the area.
Yeah.
So that was, because she's new to the area and she was trying to establish a church, that shouldn't have been a reason not to answer a call, because she said she called them. So it's like, okay, but did you go there?
Did Faith have a question up here? Somewhere up there.
You're doing a good job, by the way, Dan.
Maybe up
I'm trying.
She said she'd love to hear our insight on her question. Is this it? Isn't there a whole list of fallen angels who are allegedly taunting and tormenting the living? Now, I'll give my belief system first. I believe that that's what demons are, is they're fallen angels. There's a specific number that was cast out. I'm assuming they have names, but I don't know that anybody would ever have a list of those names. I know a lot of people say that they have named them all and this and that and the other thing, but I don't think there's a list of demon names.
No, I don't think so. But as far as the I mean the earth, you know, people always ask, well, why would again, this is just my opinion, but I have a faith, and my faith to me is truth. The earth is the devil's playground. So whenever something bad happens, it's the enemy, and I always have to remind myself of that. You know, like I always say, like, oh man, why does that have to happen? You know, I remember one day I said it to a friend of mine. I said, God hates me, and he said, what? And I said, God hates me, and he said, it ain't God's fault, dude. It's the devil.
Yeah,
and that really, like, that was before I was saved, and then I met my wife and stuff. But when he said that to me, it was even before I even was, I wasn't necessarily spiritual, but when he said that to me, I realized, you know, there can't be a heaven without a hell. And I realized I'm blaming everything on God here. Well, what about
a
the
lot
enemy?
a lot of people do. I mean,
And,
we have free will. I
Yeah.
mean, we have free will to make, you know, so
Yeah.
Thank you, Sky, for the gifted
Yep,
membership.
thank you.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to upload some more stuff now that Dawson didn't want me to put anything out on the Randolph Asylum until he put his video out. So now I can upload some more stuff for the members only, you know, some of the raw video stuff.
You, Jeff, you got a new video coming out soon, don't you? Or you just put one out, didn't you?
Yeah, I just put one out. It sucks. No one watched it. So don't waste your time.
Dude, you know what I was doing? I was like, I don't know why, because I just put videos out willy-nilly, and I'm like, I'd put them out at like, I'd finish editing at like 3:00 in the morning. I'm like Tuesday night, all right, and I'd upload it, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, Google, when's the best time to put them out? I'm like, 2 to like 4:00 on Friday or Saturday. I'm like, I got to start doing that. So I don't know if that's what you do, but like that's what I started doing. Not that it matters.
Yeah, what I noticed is, so I was getting a lot of views on some videos, but once I switched up my content a little bit, I put out an investigation video. I put out that Collingwood video that you saw.
Yeah.
And then I slowed down the output speed. Like I wasn't putting out a video once a week. And ever since then, my numbers have tanked in YouTube. Like they want consistency of topic.
Yep.
Scheduled video releases, you know, that's what YouTube wants. And so I kind of screwed myself a little bit, but you know,
I'm seeing a therapist just simply because I was talking to my doctor, and they give you that happy and sad sheet when you first walk in. And I was just in a bad mood that day, and like I had a lot of like the sad things. And he's like, "Are you feeling okay?" And I'm like, "I'm just like not in a good mood today." And he's like, "You know, we got a good therapist here." And I'm like, "I don't know, I'll talk to her. You know, I don't care." So I was like talking to her, and it was more like she was talking about like, what are your goals type thing,
right?
And actually, dude, to be honest with you, I'm making really light of it, but I was. Reason why like I tuned into like your 12-hour thing, not the reason why, but like it really hit home for me, because like I struggle, everybody does struggles a lot from that stuff, you know. And it's not as taboo as it used to be to talk about that stuff, especially amongst men, you know. So you know, I admit, so I'm going to see this girl, right? And so like she hands this piece of paper over, it's talking about goals, and I'm like, you know, one of the goals that I really need to work on is, instead of like when I sit down here and like start to like edit, instead of like clicking on DaVinci Resolve, sometimes I'll click on YouTube and see what other people are doing and start watching their videos. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to watch this dude's video. I should be editing my own stinking video.
Yeah, I definitely, hang on, leave that one up there, because I would want to address that.
I was going to say, I wanted to say something about it.
Illness. Yes, I do have mental illness, Julie. No, I'm kidding.
No, she's not talking about you. She's talking about
I know, I'm just kidding.
But and that's, I want everybody to know too, because I know people are jumping in and out. You know, the viewership is actually going up. I don't want people to think that I'm jumping to this is a demonic possession. and I'm ruling out everything else because that is not the truth. But this is definitely so. One reason I want her to go to the church is because the church will absolutely require her to get a physical or a psychological evaluation by an actual psychiatrist, not online.
And I mean, for us, I mean, because even Bill can even, when you see how the change happens, I've never,
and it very well could be mental illness.
It could,
though,
but
for
I mean,
sure.
I've worked with people with mental illness.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody ever do this. And literally, I've seen it 3 times. And I've seen that.
And that's why, like I said, I was waiting for her to say something like, who is the one watching this video that I can't see? That would have been a clue. That would have been a clue to me that, okay, this is supernatural, like for real.
That would have been spooky.
There is no way that she would have known that.
Right.
The blonde one didn't even know. I didn't even tell her till yesterday.
Gotcha.
That I had somebody else in there. So there was, if she would have said that, that would have really, really freaked me out.
Yeah.
And Dawson probably would have turned his phone off and ran out of the car.
Yeah, he would have been so freaked.
Yeah.
He was freaked out
so
for
bad.
3 days.
I mean, I literally made sure I bubbled him like right afterwards because he was really,
it bothered him.
Really,
he'd never witnessed anything like that. So
yeah. And when that was on this was like just a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Friday.
It was a week ago from Friday. Last Friday.
Yep.
So
right.
But yeah, and that's the thing, and the reason why we're talking about it, it's not because, oh, that was so cool or this and that and the other thing. It's like people need to know that like Dawson, and this is what he kept saying. He's like this wasn't a video. Like this was a real person. It just blew him away because we get so used to everybody claiming demon on video and absolutely nothing happens because it's just a clickbait title. And then to see something that could potentially really be that, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
that really does happen.
This one.
Hang on. Thanks, Anna Banana, for the super sticker.
Anna Banana.
We appreciate you all the time.
So I worked at a dye hospital for 10 years and I've seen a lot. So it's really hard to call. Now, like I said, I've worked with mentally ill. And to see yes, it's possible. I've never seen anything when the change happens. I've never seen anybody with a psych issue. But then you think about it. There could be a lot of people that have psych issues that have been overtaken. I mean,
a lot of people think that.
I mean, there could be, and then they just blame what's happening to them on a psych issue, not realizing that they may have something else there. So that's
double-edged sword, man.
Yeah. But I've never seen someone that I've worked with mental health issues ever do this eye change thing. Ever.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I've only, like I said, I've seen it 3 times, and all 3 times it's been when we've done these that it's a possible possession. So
when you see this other one that I'm going to share with you,
you'll
see a lot of similar things, but I actually think that one's a little worse. Except this one freaked me out more because it came right at us.
But you think about it, this is the same thing.
Personal.
Right.
This is the same thing though with this last one we had, but all three of the cases, there has been like a black hover that has come through. Like it feels like this black little swoosh comes over and checks out the house. It happened all 3 times that when somebody's eyes have switched like that. All 3 times we have had something like swoosh through our house, like checking us out. And it's not just like us saying it. It's people in other states, other places that were on these calls that said, did you kind of get a sense that something just kind of swooshed in, checked you out and went right back out? And it's like, and my house is bubbled. So nothing can get in, nothing gets in. But whenever it comes to this, the 3 times it has still gotten, like it's still kind of like hovers right over, looks and sees, and it's not like it just kind of swooshes like through and then it's gone. But
I do have to say I loved the way that Jeff, that you handled it. Your born again Pentecostal training kicked in.
Yep.
When you had started saying you're a child of God.
Yep.
And you were in the presence of the Lord.
Yeah, and that's
you probably know that, but I mean, whether you know it or not, sometimes people don't know that they are. Dana, you had left the room, but Jeff was in the presence of the Lord, because he had his eyes shut and he was praying to the Lord, rebuking. He was rebuking what was going on.
And it's ironically
we just lost
weird.
100 subscribers just now. I'm just kidding.
Ironically weird, because I have a Christian belief. I don't have one specific religion I follow, but
I don't either.
Okay, but let me tell you,
non-denominational.
yeah, but let me tell you, when I was outside that whole freaking time, I was praying. Like, I was praying.
Well, they say every guy in a foxhole is automatically turned into a believer of God.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like and it's like, but I mean, I rely more on spirit guides and my guardian angels and everything like that. But when I need to, I will pray and I will go to wherever I need to go. But like literally, I was out there praying like crazy. Right. And that, I mean, I was in tears praying probably for 2 days, because I just was like, no, because it hasn't really, like the last 3 days, it hasn't really tried to poke at me, but prior to that it had tried poking at me like multiple times.
So the first couple days I was definitely like freaked out, this and that and the other thing, but then starting about Sunday I was like, okay, this is a hoax, this is a mental, I started coming up with, and like I said, I had sent the video to a few people too, so I'm starting to get all their feedback in, and I'm like, yeah, we need to look into this. You know what I mean? I'm keeping an open mind as to what. Yeah, let's address this Brian's comment real quick. Do you think people with mental illness are more prone to demonic possession? I think maybe so, but I think addiction is actually a big door opener for possession.
I think both.
Yeah, I think both are too, but I think addiction is, because these people, when they're addicted, man, they all talk about being possessed, and it's so easy to say, oh, you're just on drugs, but like, I think the two can happen at the same time. You can be a drug addict and be.
Can I address Brian's thing?
Yeah.
What he said real quick?
Yep.
So, at the church that we go to, there's a young man that was in front of us, and he has a mental illness, and he dances like in front of us, and he rocks back and forth, and he stands there with his parents, and when it's time to, after the praise and worship, he loves the praise and worship songs.
Yep.
When it's time to go downstairs, his face is a little disfigured and everything, and when it's time to go to when the music's over, it's time for him to go downstairs, because he can't like stay still and stuff like that, so he's an adult, so he goes downstairs and everything, but when I don't get afraid of anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. I'll stand my own and stuff like that. When the music stopped, he had turned around and looked at me. And when he looked at me, it scared me.
Yeah.
He looked at me in a way that, behind his eyes wasn't a human. It wasn't him. And I know it sounds stupid, like, oh, there's probably tons of people rolling their eyes right now. But when I told my wife, because there was nowhere else really to sit, so they sit way up front, right into the pastor and the stage and everything. So that's where we sat, right directly behind them. And I got to be honest with you, he's a type of person where like you wouldn't ever expect him to even ever make eye contact with you. He's one of those sort of disabled people where he wouldn't even make eye contact with you, but he turned around and like caught a look at me, and it wasn't him, it was something else looking at me, and he growled at me, and
oh shit,
it scared me. And so when we went back to, when we're going on the way to church, I said, just do me a favor, because she led the way in because service had already started. So I said, just do me a favor, don't sit next to that guy.
Yep.
And then I told her what had happened.
Yeah.
So
thanks Sky, real quick, for the gifted again. That's a couple that you've given tonight. We appreciate it.
So with the eyes change, your eyes, my eyes change color. I have green eyes, and sometimes they change different colors of green eyes. What we're talking about is like, it doesn't.
It's a black.
It is
dude.
The eyes go black. You can't even explain it.
Yeah.
No.
And I so wish we could show and share this, because it is so. I have never, and I occasionally I have seen it one time in public.
It was almost like AI.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like. It's like you see somebody and it's like they blink, and when they come back, their eyes completely are just completely black. Yeah. There's no white in their eyes. Mm-hmm. It's like black.
Listen,
it's crazy.
I picked apart poor Jeff. Poor Jeff put up a video that I picked apart. Okay.
No, but it was good that you did that.
And so now I'm on doing a talk with him, and I am like, I am a person that doesn't believe in Jack. You know what? I just don't. And I would say, yeah, no, her eyes were changing color because the moon came out, or like, oh, she had to fart. Yeah. But dude, listen, I know if I were in the chat, I would be going, these guys are idiots.
Yep, I kind of would be too.
I would be too, man. I really would. Listen, you guys in the chat, I get it. I am on the same. But listen, yeah, she could have schizophrenia. She could. Yep. It could be a hoax. I've written it all down. Mm-hmm. It could be they're both nuts. It could be a possession. It could be. But I'm telling you, when her eyes did change, they were like black.
Yeah,
they were like black.
Yep.
Yeah,
and her skin tone changed.
And I, to be honest with you, I want it to be a hoax,
dude.
You know what I mean? Like I'd much rather have it be that than the other.
I'm here. I'm sitting here. You two, I'm looking at the exact same thing, with the exception of when that came on, you had the green screen going. I was like, dang, I didn't know their house looked like that.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, we had to hide this.
This
is good. I didn't know you had a baby grand.
No, this isn't a good look when you're interviewing a
yeah, with the exception of that, I was like, so you guys are sitting there, you're the ones who were attacked. I can sit here and like laugh and make light of it, but that was really personal. Mm-hmm. So I know how you're saying. I hope it was a hoax.
Yep. And if it is, I'm going to find out. I guarantee you I will find out.
Here's one thing I didn't understand. When I had to go back and like watch it for the second time. Do you remember? So Blondie, when you said you couldn't stand them guys, you were like, I can't stand them guys. They're this, they're that. Blondie jumps on board and she's like, see, you know what? I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't she in cahoots with them? Why was she agreeing with you?
Actually, honest to God. So here again, and she's a nice person. So we're not really picking on her at all. Yeah.
Okay.
She was sent out by Bishop Long's church to investigate for them.
Yeah.
And then after this one, we had a talk one day. I'm like, look, he's fake as hell, right? Like he made up this entire. So I opened her eyes to a lot of this stuff. And
that makes sense why her reaction was the way it was.
Yeah, she is pissed at these guys now.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, thank you. That clears that up, because when I was watching it, I was like, I don't understand why she's like basically virtual high-fiving you when she's like in cahoots with them. It didn't make any sense to me. All right. Thank you.
Well, what she saw and what she witnessed turned her off to them so much. And then, the conversation we had where I said, look this guy up on Facebook. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He's not a freaking priest.
Gotcha.
Or an exorcist. He's a filmmaker. Look, what priest or clergy of any type do you know that their Facebook page is covered with all of the paranormal events that they're going to go to? None. Yeah. You will not see Father Vincent Lambert going to Michigan Paracon. It won't happen. You know what I'm saying? So
is that what that guy does?
Yeah.
Goes to a Paracon?
These guys go to all these Paracons. And Bishop Long was on that show, The League of Exorcists. It was on Discovery. It was bogus. Like, it's just, I can't stand this shit.
Yeah.
None of them look like a traditional priest. They all got Bishop Long probably does, but and I'm not judging people with long hair or tattoos or anything like that, not saying they can't be godly men, but all these guys are like, they've got to look to them like they're trying to look like some movie exorcist, that off the cuff, black sheep of the church exorcist,
right.
because he's so good. Giselle, the plan is to turn it over to the church. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yep. Something. I mean, it may sound like that, Yummy Donut, but I really haven't. I have not totally made up my mind because, like I said, I've had, peers of mine, people that I respect, look at this, and people have said things that, like, okay, I have to look into that. I have to look into that. So,
I mean, I guess we haven't really made up our minds about it. It's
right.
just, we're just spitballing here, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really what we're doing.
Yep.
Spitballing.
Yep.
Like I said, I have 4 categories written down.
Yeah.
Maybe you came in late. Possession, schizophrenia, hoax, or they're both nuts.
Yep. Yeah.
So
hold on.
Hang on.
Who's that?
I don't know. She always calls when we're on live stream.
Who's that?
It's our daughter.
Oh.
I'll talk to you later.
Apparently she doesn't watch the channel.
Yeah, right.
But ironically funny, she is one of the admins on the page, so she should get it, but she just doesn't pay attention. So
is she a mod?
She's not one of the mods, but she's like an admin on like our Facebook, which just goes through Facebook. So gotcha. She should be able to be. We had to have somebody as backup that can do quick to access in case something happens, because we did get our account hacked. Our original Boo Facebook page got hacked because my page got hacked. And so I lost everything. I lost she was able to luckily get in and stop them from getting our Instagram, our YouTube, and some of our other channels, but they got our Facebook. So, but she was able to go in and change all her passwords for everything else. So they only got to Facebook, not everything else. So
Cree, I really do appreciate that comment. And you're right. We are. So my initial thought, honest to God, day 1, day 2, this is a demon. Absolutely 100%. But then, like I said, about Sunday, I started looking into, okay, let's think, why isn't this demonic? What, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still in that same camp. I'm searching for what this really is. And she does need, somebody else said she needs a mental evaluation. She absolutely does. But the thing is, I can't take her to one. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to turn this over to the church, because they'll make her do that. You know what I'm saying? And they can address all of the issues. This, if it is something demonic, this is way out of my league. I'm not going to go in there and, be an exorcist and put on this fake collar like all these other jackoffs do.
Like, I've removed myself completely from it now. I'm done. I won't, just because for my safety. And I'm not. That
being said too, if it's schizophrenia or split personality disorder or something like that, I'm not trained to deal with that either. No, you know what I mean? So that needs to go somewhere else. Either way, this case needs to go somewhere. And I'm trying to get her the help that she needs, whether it be mental help or spiritual help. I don't know yet.
Right. And to address LB, he's a buddy of mine. Jeff recorded it, and nobody messed with it. It's completely raw. And
there's no edits whatsoever.
Nope. It's raw. Yeah, and like you said, you're about to wrap up, and
and like I said too, I why and I'm not picking on the question. I'm just saying there's no reason for me to edit something that I'm giving to people that I know and trust because I want their honest opinion. Like I said, I didn't put this out on YouTube.
So. Yeah. I think let's make clear that the source came from Jeff. Like, it wasn't that they recorded it and then
sent it to me. It was my video.
Right. Yep. So like, they couldn't have manipulated her face or nothing like that.
Yep. I'm trying to
catch up on
comments real quick. We're behind, but not too far behind. And I apologize, everybody. Like, we're telling longer stories and stuff, so we can't really get to the chat. But if anybody has questions in the chat, go ahead and throw them in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because if we're not being clear on anything too, because obviously us three know what we're talking about, and in case there's anything people are like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
because,
difficult because no one else has seen it. So
yeah, because we're being, hopefully we're not being too vague, obviously.
yeah, but we're trying to be a little cryptid without,
Yeah, exactly.
So this is something she doesn't have any family or anyone that can bring her. This is the thing. She has to go to the church herself because I mean her family's not going to force her to go.
Well, and she, as far as I know, her son lives with her.
Yep.
Yeah. But
she didn't talk about any other family being in the area or
No.
something. So it might be a situation where no one lives around. And just so everybody knows too, she's a professional. She has several patents. I mean, we're not dealing with.
She's not. She's a smart lady.
Yeah.
And
nice place.
She's
very nice house.
She's in her community. She's she helps out in her community. She's very. So it's not like
it's not like we're dealing with somebody that clearly doesn't have their stuff together, because that's actually most cases where people claim what she claims. They live in clutter. I mean, they've got some kind of chaos going on in their life. It's just, this was the opposite of most of what I've seen in interviewing people. So, yeah. What was this one? Yep. Thanks for joining us, Plain Lane.
Hey, and while you guys are doing that, I'm going to bring something up too.
Yep.
Okay.
I've been trying to encourage Jeff to do a once a week chit chat and Dana. I don't care what it is. Just to sit and shoot the breeze or whatever. It doesn't even matter. He doesn't have to have a guest. He doesn't have to. He can sit there and just look and read. So because they did such a good job on the 12-hour thing, and to be honest with you, to be honest with you, I was out in the garage. I was filming and working and stuff, and I watched for I was listening and watching at the same time, and I had it on for 4.5 hours.
Yep.
And I was I was in here, and I was I got to get outside. I got stuff to do. And then I caught the end with Dawson and stuff, and I was cracking up, and I was well, I could take what am I doing? I take my phone outside.
Yeah.
So I was in the garage watching, and it was just great. And then I got to thinking, I was hey, he should do this every week because I think his subs would go up. I know I'd tune in.
I know I need to get back in the habit because we used to do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we're trying to get to
it would be good every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's hard because trying not to step on everybody else's when everybody else is going. Yeah, it's just really hard.
And really, some of the guests that I would want to have on, because I want to talk to Joe Vitale and people like that within the community, but I also want to go outside the community. So guests that I've had on in the past are Ralph Sarchi from the movie Deliver Us from Evil was loosely based on his life. I mean, it really wasn't, but he's the character of that movie, but he's a real cop that turned into a demonologist.
He's a comedian too.
Yeah.
He was an awesome guest. But when you have people like that on, I've got to get his book and read it.
I know you say that, but I know I told you, I was dude, no, I was thinking even if you just said if you were just you hit the live button and it's just you and Dana, I would still tune in. I'd be there's Jeff's face. I don't know. I'm sitting here saying that, and Laura's been trying to get me to go live, but I'm this I'm okay with because you're hosting it and stuff, and I've been on with Laura and stuff, and she's hosting it. But dude, I wicked panic, thinking about doing my own, because I would like to do a live with Exploring Harley.
Yeah. Yep.
He said he'd do a live with me because he's into everything I am.
Oh yeah,
he's got a Mini Cooper S. He's got motorcycles and stuff. He said he'd do a live with me for my my channel, talking cars and stuff. And I'm yeah, but dude, I'm super scared to do it.
I should go back and watch one of the first few that I did, because man, I was in the same boat. I was I really wanted to do it. I got to do this, but yeah, I'm sure it was bad. because
Really?
I
I
was
wish-
I was
I
shitting
wish we
bricks.
could go back to our first boo bites on Facebook.
Yeah, it's well,
I
that's
don't think
cool.
we
yeah,
can get
that's
those.
yeah. A
Those
lot of
were-
those were only on Facebook, so
Yeah.
the initial episodes are lost.
our boo. Well, no, did we put them on YouTube?
We started to, yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think the
not
original
the first few,
ones.
because there's some where I went on there and I rambled for an hour and a half, changing the topic every 30 seconds. Like it there were some that were really bad.
Although I
That's
will
me
say,
too, though.
my
Yep.
I think my favorite one we did was with from the Detroit.
Yes.
That is my ultimate favorite.
What the hell was his name? The guy
Oh, why can't I
died
think of his
during
name?
COVID, but he
right
was the
after
most.
COVID.
He had a haunted location up in Detroit. It was an old
The
prison,
ninth
District 6th
Or is it
precinct.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really cool building. But this guy wanted to restore it and turn it into a computer. What the hell is it? Like a
It was a
data center,
yeah,
like
data
a
center with
farmhouse
bunch of
for servers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but he was letting paranormal people in because paranormal people were basically paying for him to remodel the building. But he had such a great theory. It's like, hey, I made $25 today. I can buy an outlet in a box and 20 feet of wire and put a new outlet in this building. That gets me one step further to what I'm trying to do here. He was just, God, he was such a nice guy. When found out he died, we were just like,
because we actually
weren't
went up
super
and meet.
good
we
friends with
went,
him, but he was
we
one.
met him
Yep.
to meet him because it
We-
was so that
We
awesome.
took her daughter to the airport and was like, okay, we're going to be right there. Let's talk. I just want to go shake the guy's hand. You know what I mean? And man, I'm so glad I did, because it was less than a month or two after that he passed away. But you know,
blows,
just
man.
such a nice guy.
I'm trying to find
why
his
can't I
name.
remember
know.
his
I
name?
can't think of his name.
Oh, Ed Steele.
Yes, Ed Steele.
See, like,
Thank you. Thanks,
so-
Anna Banana, again for the super sticker. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what's a super sticker?
It's people like what you're doing and send you $5 as a super
See now,
sticker.
dude. Okay, Anna Banana. She's giving you $10 already, right?
I know she supports us big time.
Yeah, that's cool,
Like,
dude.
for real.
So like, all right, so imagine every 2 weeks you did one of these, and Anna Banana comes along.
Yeah, but
I'm just messing. But
yeah,
like,
I definitely don't do it for that. I do it if
no, I know. I'm just saying.
okay. So I used to host the Warren Files for the Warren Foundation. We had 40. No, it wasn't 40,000. They had thousands of subscribers. We would get 7 people watch that show, but look at me. I got 50 people in here.
Oh, that's
Like,
awesome.
I mean, it's super awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. 7 people would watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and wait, the topper though, the 7 people usually were me,
Yeah,
Jeff, and whoever the guest
they had
was.
they
And
had
the mods.
they
well,
had we didn't even
yeah.
have mods. We didn't know that we needed them, but we had 100 members in the foundation. You'd think you'd at least get 50% of them.
Yeah, like the members
No,
would at least
the
show
members
up.
didn't even
Yeah.
freaking watch it. So yeah, I love doing what I'm doing. I really do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just need to get in that discipline of doing it once a week. And
And we've been
me too with videos.
and we're just trying to find a day that just works for us, because like usually if we're teaching class, it's on Thursdays. So it's like, well, and we do that and it's 4 weeks straight that we do it, and it's every couple months. So it's
Yep.
kind of like, well, that's gonna be kind of hard to figure out what we can do
Yeah,
there. And then like we said, trying to find times that work, but then we also have to keep, and like I sometimes have days that I'm not available because of my brother's schedule with sports. Because we never know, he's in Special Olympics, so I never know. So we never know what season.
put that one up there.
Yeah, whatever season it is. Like we're just finishing up, like the next 2 Wednesdays is our last walking groups until we get, because we just got done with softball, so we have a couple weeks of walking, and then we go into basketball in December because he doesn't do flag football. So it's like I don't even know what days I'm going to have basketball yet. So it's kind of like, oh,
Cree, we never did find out how much. They never called
they
me
never
back.
will call us
and
back.
it really irritates me because the receptionist was so nice and was like, oh, that's so great that you guys did that. But then she sent me over to their marketing, the head of their marketing department, and he never called me back. But he didn't call me back before the charity stream because I wanted to talk to him and tell him what we were doing. But so
yeah.
hit the next one too.
Yeah, so I mean, we tried to get a hold of them, but at least we know that because we didn't take it personally. We had everybody direct it right to them, so we know that they at least over that weekend they got some good donations.
So, yeah, Jonathan, that's absolutely true. When you're dealing in this residential casework, you have to be soft with these people, even if they show you the video of their K2 meter going off. You can't just go at them and say, oh, that's bullshit. It's, it's garbage. Just throw it away. You really have to soften your approach when you deal with these people because they are scared.
Dude, I said that to my wife too. I turned to my wife and I said, isn't Jeff just so kind and sweet? I said, his demeanor is so nice. Even like when you first start out, you're like, okay. And you're like, You're like,
yep.
I'm like, I don't know if that's like how you are in your like day to day, like, but like, I don't know how you, cause like with me, like even when she started, you said, no, you're getting some bad information.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You don't want to say those guys are full of shit. You can't go hard at it. You have to.
When she first started and said, you're treating your mother bad or something, you go, no, that's not true. You're getting some bad information. You were like super kind about it. And I was like, I'm sure that I would have been okay. Like I probably would have handled it maybe okay. But watching, I was like, Jeff's like super sweet, man. Like
well, because like I said too, I've witnessed people try and do online exorcisms. I'm not, if that was what I thought it was, I'm not going to sit here 4.5 hours away and taunt this thing. You know what I mean? That is just,
you were very good at what you did. I just want to say that I was very impressed with
I appreciate
how
that.
you did that.
Well,
the goal is to bring them back, not to confront what you think it could be.
Yeah.
And I think what we've learned from doing so many residentials, no matter if it was this case or even if it's something different, we've learned that you have to learn how to approach the people because for instance, we had one that we believe it was her medications and she went off on us about the because she didn't like that. But it was like, that was all we could do at that point. We had tried everything. We actually set up cameras. We did everything. And that's all it was leading back to, because we tried to do everything we could to get her to listen and trust us enough to say, look, you really need to talk to your doctors about your medications because we think this might be part of the problem. And she just went off on us.
And that's why when you do residential cases, you don't necessarily need other paranormal investigators looking at things. You need, if you know a doctor, say, look, this person's on these medications. Could this be causing this feeling that she's having? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to have other people that have nothing to do with the paranormal at all, that are experts in what they do, that you can run things by them.
See, Jeff, that's to me what makes you a professional and not just a for fun person, because anybody could go order a gizmo off eBay or Amazon and go into a building and go, I want to see if this place is, got some ghosts floating around in it, as opposed to like the thing you sent me and sit there and go and ask questions and keep a professional, maintain it. And then, like you said, I think this might be your medication, and then have somebody swearing at you saying no. And then you trying to figure out if this really is paranormal or if this really is your medication, or that's what separates you from, a professional to like just having fun. And
that's and that is the hardest thing in the world to tell somebody is like, look, I really think, for us to proceed, you're going to have to go get a psychological evaluation and I always say just to rule it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a medical evaluation just to rule it out. I don't say, I think you have issues going on, so go see a psychiatrist. We have to do it to rule it out.
Yeah.
And that's what you did in that. I could tell everything, that the way you were like crafting everything that you say, everything that you said, you were like keeping everything at ease. Even when you told her, you said, my job here is to like just make sure I don't want to instill any fear. And you were like, you're even using your hands. You're even doing stuff like this and stuff, and even like your body language was like, I was like, man.
Well, almost every, actually, first of all, Sarah, thank you so much for the
Yep,
gift of
thank
membership.
you.
We appreciate you and you watching. And Sarah's been another. She was our actual first channel member.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, no way.
yep. So
That's crazy cool.
Yep, she's been number one since the beginning as far as the membership side of things.
Oh,
But
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the way from England,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Or no? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I was going to say this too. There's so many people. So you got to experience the residential side. I
Right.
would much rather go out to Dawson, rent that Randolph Asylum, and have fun.
Yeah,
that,
dude.
No lie,
Yeah.
that was a blast.
Me too, man. That what you did, it felt nervous. I wasn't even like I was watching a recording. That made me feel like nervous,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the other stuff watching. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
If something happened, it's like, oh my gosh, dude. Like what you did was like, holy crap, this is real. This could be real. Or even if someone has a mental illness, that's real. Because I've worked at like facilities with people with mental illness.
Yeah.
And when they start having tantrums, I felt really uncomfortable. Like this is real stuff. This is real stuff you got to like handle and know what to do with your training when your training kicks in. That's scary stuff sometimes.
Yep.
So.
And I think people don't realize too, when you're doing residential cases, it's not like it's a lot more planning and a lot more going into it than when you're going to a public place or to a location to go do a ghost hunt, because there's interviews that go in there. There's questionnaires that go in there. And you have to have multiple meetings with these people before they trust you enough to really answer all those questions that you need asked, because we can't go out that first time meeting them and ask them, what medications do you take? Are you on?
Yeah, because they're not going to tell you the truth.
They're not going to tell you the truth.
You're feeling each other
And we've
out.
actually done that one time where we give them the questionnaire, or we ask them questions that first time we're talking with them. But then after we've talked to them a couple times and we might go meet them for the first time, we'll ask them those same questions again, and we will get totally different answers.
They'll be honest after
they'll
they
be
know
very
you a little
honest with us. And so it shows that, they really have to trust you to really open up and be honest with you about things. And it's funny because you get a lot more honesty then once we actually do go meet them and do those interviews in person. But then you also kind of get a feel, because sometimes when we go, somebody might warm up more to Jeff than me, but then when Jeff does, and then they might warm up more to me.
You got to pick up on who they connect with.
Yeah. And then
that's who gets to kind of run the show. Because if they're not, if they want to talk to Dana, I back off. I let them talk to Dana. And a lot of times too, women, like, they want to talk to another woman. And they don't want some guy holding a piece of paper and grilling them with questions. They want to, and the women that we have and that we work with Togs, they just naturally fall into that very nice, warm, welcoming type attitude. And it's funny
because when we go in, we do not let them know I'm a medium either.
Yeah, we don't.
That's nothing that is ever said to them going into a private investigation. So they
focus on her and be like, okay, what do you think? What do you feel? The questions start coming out. It's like, nope, we just don't even say anything about mediums, because
you guys are talking about like prescription medications getting true and false answers, and then until maybe you meet them the second or a third time. What about even recreational drug usage?
Oh yeah, we asked them that too.
Yep.
Yeah. And what about them not telling you the truth, and then do they open up later on?
Usually, this is what's funny though, because usually they will, once they get to know us, they'll open up, but there's always signs when you go into the house. We can tell.
I look in medicine cabinet.
Like
if I go to use their bathroom, I'll look in the medicine cabinet.
And usually one of us will find and actually I think I'm probably a little bit more detail oriented on some of it, because
ever look in their trash can?
Yeah. Now this is funny
anything?
because this tells you on, like, we are friends from Togs. He sent us to do, or the guy that we were going to his house, we were just going to set up, or Jeff was supposed to be going to set up cameras.
And we knew there were drugs involved.
And they knew drugs were involved, but they didn't know the extent until I went with Jeff, because I was like, you're not going by yourself. And so I went with him. The guy that was his house, he wasn't there And so he didn't know I was coming. He just thought it was Jeff. And he literally was like, oh, well, I'm going to be a few minutes late. You can just go in. The door's unlocked. Go ahead and start setting up and everything. So when I went in there, this is my first time going in this house, and I didn't have any backstory of this house. I found probably 20 different bottles with 20 different names on them, 20 different prescriptions.
Of narcotics, not
of narcotics.
pressure mills.
Yeah, that's what
And I'm like, but then seeing there was so much other stuff going on. I literally at one point was like, Jeff, this is a setup. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, this guy was saying that
because he called like several times saying he was going to be late. He was still on his way, but he was late, and it was an excuse after an excuse after an excuse. And literally, we didn't even pack up the equipment the right way. We just grabbed it, got it in the car, and left. When we left, Jeff called and said, "Hey, I had an emergency. I had to leave," and the guy threw a fit and just was yelling and screaming at him, no, you need to come back, and and we never heard from him again.
Wow. And you could tell this was
it was going to be who knows what was going to happen.
Yeah, this was a husband and wife who's like went up in their drug use, and they were on the way down, like they were starting to spiral out of control. That's they were about ready to sell the house, just living in a camper, like they were on their way down hard. So
that's scary, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Plain Lane even said that's scary. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it's, and you never know what you're going to walk into. Like when you, that's why we try and do Zoom interviews first and stuff like that. Get to know them a couple times. The last thing you want to do is do an investigation. If you can handle, because a lot of times it's people are just scared. And if you can tone down that fear because they've had some stupid paranormal team in there, tell them that they got a portal, and if you can talk them out of that fear, give them a sense of empowerment in taking their house back, a lot of times everything, it's all over. You don't even have to get a camera out, So the last thing we do is investigate. Yeah. Honestly.
Without giving any too much away, the video, where was that woman located? She's not anywhere near you, is she?
No, she's 4.5 hours away. She's in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Julie.
Yep.
Thanks for the gifted membership. We appreciate you. Julie's another one that's been around from the beginning. Actually, everybody in the chat for the most part has been. It's awesome.
So ever call and wellness checks when this happened. So now for that one,
we have,
for the one that I was talking about with Jeff, no, we did not, because that was something totally different. But we have Jeff has actually called for a wellness check for someone that has been in the southern part of our state.
Yep.
Because
we did another one too, where the guy was saying that demons were telling him to shoot his wife and that he has a gun. Oh, we called the cops. It was in South Carolina, and he was, oh my God, he was pissed.
But that's another reason why it's very important for us to do those questionnaires, get the information we need, because if something like this happens, at least we can be like, look, we've been talking to him for this long. We have this information. This is now we're kind of worried because this has just been said to us. So that way they can relate it and they can get to them.
And we told him, we're like, dude, you told us that you do coke and that something is telling you to shoot your wife and you have a gun. Like, we are obligated to call the police at that point. Sure. Like, you have to. You can't. So I got a buddy of mine, one of my mentors, that he had gotten a call. I think he was working on a case and deciding, this lady was saying that her daughter, or no, her niece or something was possessed. And, the claims were crazy. And this was on a Friday, and Harold was like, I'm going to think about it over the weekend and decide if I want to get involved. And this lady jumped off of an 11-story hotel that Saturday. And the last things that she said, I guess, was, I'm possessed and Harold didn't help me, or something like that. So do you want to talk about that dude? That haunts him like that to this day. And this was years ago. That shit bothers you.
Yeah.
It's like, God, if I would have just stepped in and, like, even if it is mental illness, just, I didn't do anything and I probably should have, it's not his fault, clearly, but you never know who you're dealing with when they call.
So the child that's in this case, it's an adult. Yeah, he's like, because a lot of times he stays at his girlfriend's house, so he's not even always in the house.
And just random. One of my goals too is I do want to interview this guy.
Yeah, he's like 20 years old.
Yep,
he works full time and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's not at the house all the time.
No, but I want to hear his take. I mean,
right.
I want to say, do you know what your mom's saying is going on here? Have you experienced anything?
Yeah, and since I would like to know, like, if he would be like, yeah, no, dude, just so you know, my mom, blah blah blah.
Exactly, and
my
that's
mom's
what
been in and out of like an institution all of her life or something. Who knows? I would love to know what he has to say.
Yeah.
See, but that relates back to another case, the one that we said that the lady had when we told her she needed to talk to her doctor about the medications. When we interviewed all the people that lived in the house, nobody else had anything going on, just her. And it was like,
and honestly, we think that one of the kids was actually messing with her.
Yeah.
Like doing things like turning their crosses upside down in their house. And that's one we never once even thought there's something demonic going on here. It was all like, this is a mental health thing.
Yeah.
This is not. And like I said, I think, and the kids smirked at me one time, and I think they were messing with her. It's like, you guys are sick if you're doing that to your mom. But they were all autistic.
Yeah.
The mom was.
There's only one person in the family that was not, and we think that's the one that was messing with them all.
So,
little vindictive thing. Huh?
Yeah.
Yep. But even that case, though, the first time I interviewed her, in here again.
But the dad creeped me out.
Yeah, the dad, like being in the room with him, I got this feeling that this dude was just going to totally kick my ass. Like he was just going to lunge at me and it was just, he set off, he put out a bad vibe for sure. Hey, Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Jonathan
we're all over the place. We're talking about a couple different things.
Random now.
Yep. Well, I'll let you guys talk for a second. I'm going to go get a drink refill and
real quick. You rent drinks. Are you going to go take a?
Yeah, I'm gonna go borrow one. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Sorry, Alyssa. We're all over the place. We're talking about a couple different things, like the one that Jeff was just saying that he thought the guy was going to
back up,
beat him up. Boom. That's not the same one.
That's totally different.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, sorry, Dana. I'm reading.
Nope. I'm going through them.
Yeah, Dana's doing a good job. She's like Jeff's wingman here.
Yeah, well, we said after it's like after he was 37 minutes behind, I'm like, that will never happen again. I said from now on, I will make sure I try to do the comments, and he can actually do his thing. And then and sometimes I still have to be like, hey, you need to get to the comment, because I know I'm going to get far behind if I don't. So,
well, I noticed like when I was doing, like when I was on with like Laura, I was like pretty good at like reading everything and keeping up. But I noticed like with talking with Jeff, like I'm like super like, not that it's any different, but like, I'm like talking about, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot like the chat. It's going pretty fast.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes it's a lot of the channels though do have somebody that just monitors those, and they keep like, I think they must do like a little post-it or sticky on the side that keeps them, and they pull them so that they can pull them right back up, so they know, so they almost like pin them so that they can go back. But I just try to go through and then keep the one that's highlighted, and then I just make sure I go through and I keep watching to say, and okay, I know there's another one I need to go through. So
yeah, I feel bad if anybody's like
and I apologize because I don't always get to all of them, especially when we have to start, getting through them quickly. I might not pop them all up there. Sometimes I pop just for a minute or just a few seconds and just get them down, just depending on what it is. Usually they stay up longer if I want Jeff to look at them, but that
right. I know. Well, you got an elbow. You can nudge him right in the side.
Well, I usually usually I'm like, hey, and I literally, hey. It's because that way he actually sees it then, because he sees it on the camera, not just next to him. So
yeah. What are you guys using for a camera? Are you using like just a regular webcam, or is it a camera?
I believe he's just using the webcam. You're just using the webcam, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the computer one.
It's not the computer one, but it's like
it's a webcam though.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, this one's not bad. 'Cause I think since we do it with the lighting, when we do the lighting with this one, because it does much better.
Yo, Dawson, what's up, brother? We were talking about you.
About time you show up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Julie R, I see your comment there. We are definitely going to look into that. But there again, that's not something I can just say, look, you need to get a mental evaluation like right off the bat. We've got to talk a couple times first, because in her mind she's had one, but it was an online one. I wish I had a psychiatrist in my Rolodex that I could send people to, but unfortunately I don't. Plus that's state laws cover things, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we are definitely going to take that approach as well, because, and that's why I said the church will make them do that. And they have people that, that they have on staff or use or whatever. Dawson, we're talking about our experience, and we're not using names. And I did tell people that you witnessed that, last Friday.
And you should be sorry.
Stop.
Yeah. You've been here.
Well,
important.
He's an hour behind us, so he was probably making a Taco Bell run or something.
No, he actually was editing. You missed that part.
Oh,
that's always my excuse too, even though I don't get my videos up when I should.
And I want people to, like, so if people have come in late and stuff, please go back and watch the whole thing before you say that, oh God, he's no better than Twin Paranormal.
Yeah, because it's totally different.
Because we are looking at all aspects of this, not just potentially something demonic. So Tracy, thank you very much.
Yep,
yeah,
thank you,
mental
Tracy.
Issues are very hard.
Yeah,
that was the whole purpose of that 12-hour stream.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we take it very seriously, and we don't look past it, because I do know that schizophrenia can mimic possession. Get mistaken for it. It's the two are very similar.
Yeah, and actually, just to touch base on that real quick, I touched base on that probably about 30 minutes ago, how I just started seeing somebody because I was in like a bad mood when I saw it. Was just a checkup. Like, you go every 6 months just to see a doctor. And because I'm on medication for like blood thinners and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I filled out one of those happy, sad face things when you first walk in. And like I said, I was in like a bad mood, and he was like, "Are you feeling okay today?" My doctor is awesome. I love my doctor. I can talk to him about anything. And so I was like, I don't know. I'm just like, in a bad mood. And he was like, "We have like a really nice, good psychiatrist here and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to her or whatever." I've talked to them before, and I think they suck. And and I was, I was like honest with him. I was like, I think they're a joke and stuff. He's like, and it's like, but I'll give her a shot. So like, I only saw her once, but I like got like a really good vibe from her.
Yeah.
And she gave me like some goals paper, and like then, Dawson saying he was editing was like one of my things where like I really want to try to put out a video like once a week.
Yeah. I need to get back into that schedule if I can.
Because like I want to grow my channel, and like in order to do that, you have to like do what YouTube wants you to do. And that's like, you have to do the once a week thing. So.
And honestly, editing for me is very therapeutic.
Me too, dude. I love it. And sorry, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but like, I really do like doing it, and I love picking out my music, and I love music. So like, it's just like you said, it's therapeutic for me. I don't know why I don't. Sometimes I fall into that rabbit hole of watching other people's videos. I'm like, why aren't I editing my own when I'm watching somebody else's stupid video?
And one thing I think is because you're so focused on what you're doing, and it does take a long time, that you don't have time to think about the other bullshit that's bugging you. And I think that's why it's therapeutic.
You know what?
Yeah.
It is the season for Jeff to be able to do as much editing and much film stuff and videos as he wants, because it's my season to not bug him for about anything, and I'm in my own little world.
Yeah, she goes and watches her trick or treat
because we
movies.
I have Halloween starting, but then we have a convention in
October
November.
Is stupid busy.
Yeah, October's crazy for us because we have.
I hate it.
We just have a lot of stuff. Well, it's our anniversary month, but then we have we just have a lot of stuff because we do presentations. Plus, we always have we on Thursdays for the whole month of October. We have school classes that we help with. Weird paranormal. It's a paranormal class, but we have So Thursdays are that. But then we have library. Library presentations throughout the whole month, which already started this month.
Around here.
So it's like October is like really crazy for us. So it's just really hard to get anything done. And then in November we have it's usually within the first 2 weeks of November we usually have a convention we go to at the old mill,
and then all the ghosts go away.
Yeah,
and
nobody. Then we're done.
And that's another thing too. We get so many.
Then we're done till about April.
in September, October, and now that I'm not within the foundation, we don't get as many. Let's address that in 1 second.
Yep.
But so many people have cases in September and October. And a little bit into November, but then after that, everybody starts thinking about Christmas, and nobody's haunted no more. It's weird.
I know.
Thank you, Tracy, again for the $5. We appreciate that. You don't have to do that. You can. We'll try and shout your comments out if we see.
Alyssa, go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, yeah, Alyssa has a question for you.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
And we're all sitting here waiting like she can.
I know. I'm going to.
You're on the air.
Yeah, but we'll keep an eye out for it. Yeah, Dawson, I definitely want to go out with you again. That was fun.
Hopefully
blast.
The next time everybody goes somewhere, I can go. And it's after. Oh, yeah. This is what's crazy, too. This October, I start school for my 8-week refresher. So it's like, oh, okay. On top of everything else, I have that going on, too.
Because don't say what I'm doing that.
And are you going to be watching The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, or what?
Honestly, I don't watch that one.
Hello?
I love it, but it's on CBS.
I'm out of here.
It's hard to ever catch that one. So it's like, I don't ever.
Oh, I have it on DVD.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Along with the Thanksgiving one. I love all the Charlie Brown stuff.
Yeah, but Hocus Pocus is my big one. And like Halloween Town, those I love watching.
How about the Teenage Witch one? You remember that one from the 80s?
Sabrina?
No. Oh man, it's the girl who played in Waterboy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is from the 80s.
Where she lived with her 2 aunts or something. And had the cat.
Yeah.
I think that's Sabrina, isn't it?
No.
Is it the one that her grandmother was?
Her grandma was a witch too.
It's the girl. It's like a really obscure one.
Oh.
Is it The Craft? I have to look it up now. It's from the 80s. It's the girl who played the water boy. It was her boyfriend. I'll have to look it up. Oh, by the way, did we get that question?
Yeah, we got the
it's
question
up there.
Here. I don't see it.
It's right there.
No,
on
we've
the
got
screen.
it on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, where's he looking at?
Mention your wife is religious. Is she comfortable with conventional therapy? Like, actually, she's the one she's actually seeing the same therapist, and I asked her what she thought of this lady, and she likes her. She's been seeing her like 3 times. And I was like, hey, what do you think? Because my doctor's trying to get me to see her. Yeah. And she's like, I really like her a lot, because my wife wanted to do like a Christian therapist. And I'm not always like, everything's always like gotta be like, I don't know, man. It's just sometimes everything's always gotta be like crammed down your throat with the Bible.
Yes, I was going to say that. So I've seen a Christian therapist a few times, and I've seen regular therapists, and the Christian therapist answer is always, you need to read the Bible more and you need to pray. It's like, dude, no, I need a little more than that. Like,
yeah, dude.
I get what you're saying, but I need a little bit more than that. Like,
so like, I'm the type of person where when I lay down at night to go to bed, I don't fall asleep for like 3 hours, because I sit there and think and think and think. Like, my wife could fall asleep and go, God, thank you so much for everything, and go to sleep. But like me, I'm a thinker, and like that's just the way God made me and wired me.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm not saying like I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying that, I think a little bit more. I know I have a faith
No,
that,
no.
the Lord lives in my heart, and I know who my personal private savior is. Okay. But the way that those girls sort of like making me feel, I'm not saying I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. It's my first time going. But so far I'm giving her a chance. And so to answer your question, Alyssa, my wife's giving her a chance, and it's not a Christian based thing.
Yep.
And which is it's a huge deal for my wife to do that.
Yeah.
So to answer her question, she probably maybe 5 years ago would have said, no way. It has to be like Christian based.
Yep. And I, growing up in the church world and whatever, I know people that was their thought, that like seeing a traditional psychiatrist was bad. You don't do it. It's like, so now that I've grown up a little bit and got more experience, it's like, no, it's not bad. Like, people need that perspective too.
Well, here's another thing too. Like, all right, so my daughter, she's 14. I just found this out. Loves Michael Jackson. Loves him. The other day she goes like this, Dad, you know who my favorite? Now I knew she liked him. I knew she liked his music. She goes, do you know who like my favorite song is by him? Now I saw Michael Jackson in concert when I was 10 years old, in 1984.
Yep.
And it was with the Jackson 5 actually. And she was like, you did? And she started wigging out. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, she's asking me all these questions, and she goes, you know what my favorite song is? She goes, it's from the fourth era. She's like, there's 7 eras of Michael Jackson. She's going through all of them. And I was like, okay. And she goes, my favorite song. I go, let me guess. I go, Thriller. She's like, nope. And I go, let me see that one, that hey pretty baby with the high heels on. She's like, nope. And she goes, PYT. I'm like, PYT.
Pretty young
yeah,
thing.
pretty young thing. And I'm like, what? Like, I never would have thought that. She's like, yeah, pretty young thing. Her Thriller, the Thriller album's her like favorite album with Billie Jean and stuff.
Yep.
I'm like, I never knew this about my kid.
Yeah.
She wants a Michael Jackson t-shirt, and like I thought that was like the coolest thing like about my daughter. And she's like this closet Michael Jackson. She doesn't know anything else about him, about the other stuff.
Yep.
But she just loves his music. I don't
Now
know where I'm going with that story, but
now these Swifties today will never know what it was like to try and get Michael Jackson concert tickets.
But wait a minute.
I like, seriously, they wouldn't know. You had to wait in lines back in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, Ticketron.
Yeah, for days.
But but my girls now, Jenna and Aaron, have waited in line for tickets.
Yeah, but they do everything online now. And
plus
plus
I'm saying when they were younger, they had to stand in line for tickets for certain groups that they wanted to go to.
But that wasn't Taylor Swift.
But she actually, she waited on a virtual line to get her Taylor Swift, and she didn't even get her Taylor Swift tickets here in the U.S. She got them in Germany.
What did hey guys, what did Dawson say? I went to Michael Jackson for Halloween as a kid. Yeah, dude, I went.
My brother did,
Jackson, yeah.
That's ironically funny because my brother said he wants to be Michael Jackson for Halloween this year.
Dawson, you would get canceled now. You can't do the blackface thing. So
wouldn't be.
Don't go out.
Dawson would have to paint it even lighter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, it depends on which Michael Jackson.
Yeah. I'd have to ask my daughter what era.
Yeah, early Michael Jackson or later.
She said there's 7 eras. That's what she said.
Yep.
Me too, dude. I like Michael Jackson. Yeah. I love a lot of like, I like Madonna's music. There's like a lot of stuff I like, man. There's like a lot of weird stuff. If you watch any of my videos, please go over to my channel. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff on there. Like, it's a lot of metal. I love metal, but like, there's a lot of stuff I like, man. I like Duran Duran, the Cars.
Yeah.
Stuff. I love a lot of that 80s stuff.
I am so glad. That is one thing my girls love. So many different eras of music. Like, they like big swing music. Aaron
listens to Christmas music all day long. All year long.
Yeah. My one daughter listens to Christmas music all year long. Like different, not like solid, but she's also the Swiftie. So, but she will listen. But I mean, she had, before it became popular to have vinyl records again, she had vinyl records. She had my original ones that I had, that I still had from when I was younger. But she would go to her garage sales trying to find like Queen. She found some classical music. Sound of Music. Like both my girls are so diverse in what music,
just bring it down.
what music they like. It's so crazy, but I'm so glad that they got, like, they still like the stuff I listen to. So like, besides the BTS and Taylor Swift, we actually do listen to other stuff that I actually know.
I don't listen to T Swift. I just want everybody to know that. Like,
there's a Christmas album called the Ray Conniff Singers. If you guys ever want an awesome Christmas album, it's the Ray Conniff Singers.
Know what I want?
That's an amazing Christmas album.
What do I want? Who do I want? They're coming to town. Who do I want?
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh yeah, dude,
I want to go see.
Show.
I have CDs, but I want to go and actually see them. So.
That's Jeff, probably the best concert I've ever watched.
Jeff, you ever heard of Sabotage? Band Sabotage?
Yes. I don't know that I've really listened to them, but I've heard
that heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Oh, is it? No,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
The singer. That's cool. That's who like he is. Like,
I agree with what Plain Lane said. There's a lot of really, really good Christian like metal bands and rock bands and stuff out there.
I do.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, dude.
People are surprised when they see my playlist because it's. But even the music from our wedding.
Box.
Yeah.
Even the music from our wedding, we literally had what was it? Slipknot.
Yeah, we had a Slipknot song.
Did you really?
No, not Slipknot. Stone Sour.
Stone Sour.
Yeah, but I love Slipknot.
But this is funny because
well, Stone Sour is good.
Yeah.
But this was music before we our ceremony started. It was actually the song before our music for the ceremony started. It was a Stone Sour song.
It was song number 3.
Song number 3.
And then his version of what I can't think of the name. It's where he does it acoustic and it's I'll be your man.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I love Slipknot, man.
Yeah, so we have that, but those were in our but for dinner time we had a lot of classical old big band.
I love big band, dude. I love big band.
So we had so we had like all big band music for like the after like for dinner music.
Who's the dude who got lost in World War II in the English Channel there? Who was he was the orchestra guy. Yeah, I love it, like his music. The big band.
Not a Swiftie.
No. Anyway, yeah, dude, I love like
well, a lot of those guys served in World War II, like the Black Cat guys and all those guys. I mean, I think a lot of them did.
But he went missing. He went to the English Channel there. He got killed. But I just love that kind of music, big band.
Yep.
But even like when I'm doing my Suno music, my AI Suno music, I'll type in the genre. I'll type in Slipknot.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll come out like that.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't like Slipknot until I was going through my divorce. I became a huge fan.
Yeah, the anger made you feel better.
Yeah, it was therapeutic. It really was.
This is even funny though. I dated someone and that he loved Slipknot. I refused to listen to it. Refused. Then Jeff's like, "Oh, come on, you just gotta listen to this one song." And I'm like, "Okay, it's not bad." But before, I would never, ever.
Well, I think I started out. I played her the Corey Taylor Live in London, his acoustic show, and I was like, "That's the dude from Slipknot." She's like, "What?"
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
So I listen. I do have some Slipknot, and some Stone Sour stuff on my playlist now.
You ever heard of a band called Manowar?
I've heard of them, but again, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean a lot of like obscure stuff, like Manowar, and like King Diamond and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now there's a couple. Everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, they can't believe this one." For me, there's a couple songs by Ghost that I
like. I was just gonna bring up Ghost. I like Ghost. Actually.
I mean, there's a few. I mean, some of it I don't like. Which one?
Cerise. I like Cerise. That's a good one.
I mean, there's just a few songs that I like of theirs, and people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." So when I actually
like all their songs.
I mean, I haven't listened to them in a while.
One band.
But I do like to listen to them.
One band that I like everything they do is Tool. He's got to switch his batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am a massive Tool fan. I freaking love Tool so much.
See, that was another one. I would never have listened. I was like, nope.
But they're not. People think they're like Slipknot, but they're not.
But now you said just listen to. He slowly got me into listening to just part of a song, and now it's like, hey, this is
Shinedown's cool stuff.
So I listen to a lot of that stuff now that I probably would not have before.
Yes, I love Stone Sour is another band that I listened to over and over and over again when I was going through the divorce, and I love all of what they do. No, Dawson, they're not for druggies, you dumbass. It's for people that have brains and listen to music. Slipknot is you have to be smart not Slipknot. You have to be really, really smart to listen to Tool, like to appreciate it.
Yeah,
and get it.
Really.
To understand like what their drummer does in the time signature, it's beyond what you hear with your ears.
And they also, the one guy has a great wine.
Yeah. we
bought that singer's like a martial artist too.
Yeah. We bought some Maynard. We bought some Maynard wine. That shit was good.
We drink that for our engagement?
When I proposed. Yeah.
So I bought him one bottle of wine. It's in the back.
Oh,
it's in the back.
Super hot.
But this is something he mentioned early on from us dating, that he goes, I would really like to try this wine one time. But I had a little check note of things he needed to get, or I needed to buy for him to kind of do off a bucket list of his that I made for him myself. And so that was one of his bucket list things I did. So I bought him a bottle, and I just,
because who thinks to grow? Let's start a vineyard in Arizona. Like that's Maynard from Tool. Like let's do some shit that no one else does. And that
like Vegas, Las Vegas, or like let's put a city in the desert.
The hottest, driest place we can find.
Right.
Let's grow some grapes.
Leave it to them, and leave it to the mafia to put a city in the middle of the desert,
Yep.
So
yeah, we're going on 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I guess maybe we'll take a couple more questions from the chat if people have them, and then we can wrap this up. We don't need to do a Crow 6 hour stream,
Yeah.
If you if you want, you say you always try and do stuff that your wife would watch, don't go on Crow's show. I just don't.
Yeah, I've watched them a couple times.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm gonna start doing a show like that, and I got a mask around here somewhere.
Yeah, start talking about hot dogs and boobs and stuff.
Yeah, hot dogs and whatever stuff else they talk about.
Crow and Joe were like the first two of the bigger channels that like reached out to me and actually talked to me for the.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
I respect the shit out of those guys. Those guys are so cool. Actually, all of them are. Like, I've talked to. Mythos a little bit, Side-Eye Guy and I chat. Like if we chat all the time, or not all the time, but
I almost picked up one of these to eat.
Oh, that would have been good. They're dog treats. But Side-Eye Guy, Beardo, like treats. All these guys are genuine. They take your calls if you got questions and stuff. So
you know what I want to
all freaking awesome.
Side-Eye Guys, his mask. I wonder how he makes those, because at first it looks like a paper plate.
Yeah, there's a lady that he calls her out every once in a while when she's watching his live streams, but he has a lady that makes those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember her YouTube channel.
I can't remember it.
But he has somebody make those for him. And I think the same person is making, I think Crow is getting a mask.
I think so.
That this person is making too. So
yeah, because they look like a paper mache type thing.
Yeah, I mean, Dawson might have put it on. I know Kenny Biddle did, so I don't know. Dawson, maybe you can. Yeah, Elaine Baker. That's who makes them. She's another one that you'll see in a lot of these chats.
Oh, cool. I wonder, how much she. I mean, not that I want one, but $100 a pop or something.
Oh, I have no idea. No clue. But then it's probably, to get it to Australia, it's probably 150 in
unless
shipping.
she lives out there.
I'm gonna get I want a Dawson Toller mask.
Yeah.
That's what I want. See that little icon of Dawson? I want one that looks just like, turned a little bit, just like that.
Dawson's another one, you know.
Plastic one?
Dawson, like, he's another one of these guys that, like, you never know if these people are going to be like you think they're going to be because of their YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah.
He is exactly who he is. Like,
Oh, I love Dawson, man.
there's no fake, you know, personality or any weird shit going on. Dawson is genuine.
See, that's
yes, Alyssa, I want one. Can you make anything like that, Alyssa? Or I was in the dental field for 25 years, so I can make molds and stuff out of silicone and stuff, but I don't want to do that stuff anymore. I do want a mask, especially for this face.
Well, I don't see any more questions, so I say we go ahead and wrap it up.
I think Boo was into something because she's coming to tell on herself.
Yeah, Boo likes to get into stuff when we do
she
live
wants
shows.
a fortune cookie, you guys.
Oh no!
She's
been getting her little people here.
Those are awesome little people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost ate one because I was just gonna pick it up to end. I was like, wait.
I saw that.
I was like, no.
But then she still gets pissed off and goes.
Well,
and gets the
yeah.
toilet
So
paper or
she
something.
just came out here. The way she comes out here, and she has this sweet, innocent little puppy dog look on her face, like, I'm the sweetest dog in the world. I do nothing wrong. So it's like, what? And she's wagging her tail. So it's like, what did you do? Because I know you did something.
But she doesn't look.
Yeah, she always tells on herself.
Yeah,
if she got the toilet paper after 20 minutes, she'll come and like stare at you.
Yeah,
Like,
although
hey,
it is funny because where I sit when we're doing our lives, the bathroom door's right there. So she goes in there. I usually can see her go in there. And a couple of times I've caught her where she's got, because we had to find a toilet paper roll that is up higher, so that we had to put it up higher that she can't get to it because she destroys toilet paper. Well, she literally will grab she'll grab a little piece of the toilet paper and she'll run into the bedroom, which is straight across. So I usually if I catch her, I can catch her before she gets all the toilet paper.
So I'm going to show this real quick off my phone.
Here, come here, Boo.
Sky Talker makes sock puppets.
Oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
And she made some for me and Dana today. I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
That's me and Dana.
Jeff and Dana, dude, that's so cool.
She made one for Laura as well. She's okay. This is.
Is she sending them to you, or she just?
Yeah, she just makes them and sends pictures. This one's Dawson.
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
So yeah, Dawson. Sky's cool. I'm glad she's in the chat because she definitely goes in and out sometimes with health problems. So
really?
Glad to see her here.
She's what, in Australia or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Boo.
So dude, it's got to be like,
get over here.
It's in the morning. Wait, it's got to
come
be
here.
It's about 11 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're 14 hours, I think, from us.
Come over here.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody too. Well, I know that you guys are the hosts and stuff right now.
There's Boo.
Jeff and I are going to be starting our own channel together, hosting, and I will be co-host. He will be, the maestro, but I will be co-host. Yeah.
It's hard to do one channel, man. People have said you should start a second channel. Like, oh, dude, I don't think I can.
Well, and we even thought about splitting it because I really don't have any content on my my YouTube. So we thought, well, maybe we'll start putting some of our videos on that one, and then some of the videos just on Boo to kind of separate them. So we're thinking maybe we might do the comedy ones on one and the more serious on one.
The parody, like, there's a group that wants mountain videos and parody videos. You know what I mean? That character I made, Mountain.
Yeah.
But they don't do very good on my channel.
When everybody thought that it was really Mountain.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
When people actually thought I was part of the Twin Paranormal.
Yeah,
team.
dude, it's so funny.
She's banging, so I'm gonna let her out.
All right.
Quick. Ouch.
I'll let you let her out, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Dude, you know what? All right, then me and Dana are gonna start a channel. And
she's busier than I am in the evenings. She does stuff with her brother. They do the Special Olympics, and
I'm over here saying like, oh, you should this and you should that, and practice what you preach, right? You're like, yeah, dude, Bill, you know what? Why don't you do your own chat? Well,
and then one thing too, like I said in this, so when I get a residential case like we just got, like I have to focus on that before I can make a twin video.
I know, and dude, honestly, from my standpoint too, like I'm afraid because of what I stand for and stuff. I'm afraid to get somebody on and they're like, yeah, how the F you doing, man?
Mhm.
And like, it's live, right? And like, I don't want to have like,
Yeah.
I'm not a prude. Okay. Let's put it
No,
that
I
way.
know.
But also like, I do
Like
have
you
like a standard
Yep.
that I don't want like, yeah, so this MFer, he comes over to my
Yeah.
mother effing house. And I'm trying to sell my mother effing car in marketplace, and like
Yeah.
it's got a Hemi in it, and I'm like I want to talk cars, and like I don't want to like
Yeah.
so because I want it to have a show like where we're talking like spark plugs and stuff, not that boring, but like you know what I mean. But I don't want to get it. So like I just worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm sure that like mechanics and gearheads are probably speak colorfully.
Yeah, and with what's going on with this thing, like this territory, like you kind of everything's already it's not set in stone, but like if I started doing a thing, it's like uncharted territory so far. Like I don't know who I'm gonna get.
Yep.
So I actually started doing like a questionnaire, but I'm like, who the hell am I to like start doing a questionnaire and sending it out to people? Like I trust Harley, and everything to like be on and everything, but like still I don't know. I got my tail between my legs right now.
But you don't know what other people like even within the paranormal community are into the car things and all that stuff. So I mean, there's backyard mechanics are everywhere. First, I got to stop and say thank you, Jonathan, for the $2 super sticker chat, whatever it's called. We appreciate you, man. I mean, Jonathan he's a massive advocate for like mental health stuff.
Yeah,
he's
awesome.
Yep. So
you know what? Guess what's coming?
Halloween.
Full moon.
Oh, full moon.
I gotta make sure where is my
waxing or I don't even know them.
I put it on one of the shelves out there.
Okay, I gotta find my moon water jar.
Yeah, it's a mason jar.
Oh.
I do moon water.
I love it. Dana's like, I gotta find my moon water jar, and just like, yeah, it's just a mason jar.
Yeah, she fills it with water and charges it with the moon.
Yeah,
and does
it's
shots
like a big mason jar.
Yeah,
but it's a big one. So, but I looked out. I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure I get that ready.
Gotcha.
Well, hey everybody, we want to thank you for joining us. Bill, thanks for coming on. Sorry I screwed the time up and didn't give you a proper setup, but
that's all good, man. I wasn't was just a couple minutes, but I just want to thank you too. Thank you so much for asking me to do this.
Yeah, it was a good time. Like I said, I going back to the beginning of the show, and if people didn't watch, please go back and rewatch because it explains a lot about the title and blah blah blah. But I wanted your Christian perspective.
Yeah, thanks. Man.
For that video, and I'm going to send you those other ones too, and I want your perspective on those as well. But but not only that, I wanted other, like Julie R is in the comments. Actually, she sent me a message. I'm going to look at it after we're done. I may send her the video too because she's not going to show it to people, and she sounds like she has a medical background, so I'd love to get her opinion on it. So.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Everybody's saying thank you. Thank you, guys, too. And I appreciate it. Thanks, Sky, Dawson, everybody.
Yep. And, people that gifted are freaking awesome as hell, but just people being here, that's what it's all about. I mean, the fact that I pulled almost 50 all night just blows my mind. Because like I said, back in the day, we would, yeah, it is because of you. Yeah. So we'll see what happens next time. It'll probably be 75, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it'll be 20.
Right.
Because it won't be me. Yeah. But no, seriously, man, you got to start doing this every couple weeks, maybe once a month anyway.
Yep.
Think about
it. I definitely want to do at least bi-weekly, but I really like to do every week. So I think I'm just gonna kind of Monday nights seem to be open because I don't want to step on Jimmy's toes, which is Tuesday.
And dude, I'm putting this out. If you don't have anybody, go, dude, I got nobody. You want to step in? Yep. I'm putting that out there.
Gotcha.
I'll do it
for sure.
If we just can chit chat about anything.
Yeah.
And if you want me to watch something, go, hey, watch this video, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It could be even something that's already on and just to debunk or just check it out. Dude, I'll do it. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And I know Laura does Wednesdays. And
that's her like day that she's supposed to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes
Kenny Biddle does Fridays, and Weeping Willow does, I think, every other Thursday. So I think Monday is the time I'm going to claim.
That's your day. That's Jeff's day.
Seems to be open.
This is the only day we really don't have anything ever scheduled.
Yep. And Sundays, man, it's either there's nothing on or everybody premieres something and goes live. And Saturdays too can be goofy. You know, Joe just pop up live every once in a while. So I'm thinking Mondays. That's
Dude, it's official, man. Today's the day. You set it in stone.
And we'll get some guests on too that maybe the debunking community doesn't agree with, but we have to talk to everybody. Yep.
I agree, dude. Yeah, that's what this is all about, man.
Yep. And I'm not saying I'm going to get Twin on and be like, hey, dude, we're bros and I love everything you do, because that ain't going to ever happen. But I'm just saying that, you know, we may have psychics on or something like that, you know.
Yeah. And dude, like I sit here and sometimes like it's hard for me to like keep my mouth shut, but like I just sit here and like listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something like I said, sometimes like I'd be like, all right, listen, I gotta speak up, but like I have a perspective on everything, you know, so whatever. Yep. Like I'll just sit and listen if
I think, like I said, you and I told you this, like, I think after the first time I heard you on Laura's show,
right?
You and I are very much alike. We very, very analytical. You know, we have beliefs, but we're also willing to have those beliefs changed.
Absolutely.
If something pops up that like, okay, you know, someone else is right, I'm wrong.
Yeah. And dude, if we talked more in person, like if we were face to face, we'd be like, dude, oh my God. We'd be like totally even more. So yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, because it's hard to do it this way, even the way we did it, even like through the chat and stuff, like we've been texting and stuff. It's hard to do it that way.
Yep.
But if we like seen each other, we'd be like, holy crap, dude. All right. You know, we'd be like, yeah, I could tell too. So
yeah. And you live up in New York, right?
Central. Yeah. Central New York. Yeah.
Yep. So that's not super far, because I'm one that, like, when I connect with people, even if it's online, like I want to shake your hand at some point someday.
Me too, dude. I'm looking for cars in your area. Yeah. I'm like, what can I buy? So like, I could like at least spend the night and be like, all right, I'm heading home now. Like a rust-free car out in Ohio.
Yeah, well, very, very hard to find.
We might have a car in November. That's going out.
What you got?
He's not interested in that.
I know he's
like classic cars.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I like anything.
It's a Hyundai.
Yeah, it's my daughter's car that's in the military. She's she might be selling it because we've had it since she's been gone. This is what we're going on year 2.
Okay,
that we've housed it.
It's been my work van for 6 months because my work van sucks. No, it's a Hyundai.
Little accent. I think it is.
Oh yeah, I know the little accent.
Yeah, it doesn't make for a good work van.
All right, nobody has seen my channel, so most of my videos are on a Kia Sportage. So, just so everybody knows, a Hyundai and a Kia are pretty much the same car.
Yeah,
so, yeah, dude. Most of my stuff is like I'm working on a Kia or my Equinox, or there's a bunch of other garbage that I work on. I work on junk. So yeah, I'll come get your accent. Is it a 5-speed?
No,
it's
automatic.
Yeah.
Is it rust free?
I think so. I don't think she has.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because she had.
Yeah, she actually just had it painted because
because she had damage. From hail damage. So I think she's got a couple little fender, like little scratches in it, but there's not like, it's not like bad scratches. But because she's overseas now, so she's thinking about maybe selling it finally.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey man, you never know. Like I could make a trip out, spend the night, and head home. I got a trailer. So.
Jeff, I have 24 years as an RN and huge psych BG. What?
Big gut. No.
Well, I mean, thank you for the $2.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna think about sending that video to a couple people that have medical backgrounds. So
36 years of being psycho.
Yeah, me too. Actually, it's probably been longer, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay.
Bill,
yes.
Everybody, let's thank you all for joining. We appreciate y'all so much, for real. Oh, background. I'm sorry. I should have known that. Jesus, I told you guys I'm stupid. Like,
so am I.
I'm a certified idiot. So
I'm dumb.
Yep. Yeah. Carbs and Coffee is his channel. Carburetors and Coffee. That's right. He changed it.
Yeah, I changed it. It was Carbs and Coffee, but everybody thought it was like a cooking show. So
I Carbs and Coffee is cooler.
No way.
But
Dude,
but I understand what you're saying. People
yeah,
are
dude,
thinking,
it used to be carbs and coffee.
yeah, it's
and then everybody
fucking,
was like, when I was in the chat, they're like, oh, what do you do? Cooking and stuff?
yeah, donuts and coffee. That's
So,
probably
like,
what people would think.
because people that don't know, carb is short for carburetor. And I was like, oh, yeah, everybody knows that. And then people were like, oh, what do you eat, like donuts or drink coffee? And I was like, nah, I got to change it to carburetors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it totally sounds way better. So, yeah.
I'll just address this real quick before we leave. So I know Weeping Willow Paranormal is they're at least every other Thursday. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go on there off Thursdays.
And we have to with Thursdays. That might have to be like a
Thank
pop-up
you.
day for us,
Yeah.
just because we usually, if we're teaching classes, it's always on Thursdays, and we do that like every couple months.
Yep.
So it's like, and it's 4 weeks in a row. So that might be something that could be we're looking to try to do a set day that we know it's this day all the time.
I wish I could do Thursdays. I
Yeah.
really do. Thursdays, that's my ideal night. When we started out, that's what we did was Thursdays. So, all right, guys.
All right,
everybody, peace out. See you later. Thanks for joining. And if you didn't watch the beginning, please go back and watch what we actually, the topic title.
Yes, thanks.
And watch the whole thing before you judge me.
Yep.
And hate me and unsubscribe. So
word up. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Hit that end stream up there. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Just that awkward ending.